is the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August 1st, 2024, and we are coming to you live. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Woo.
What, 2 weeks till the cruise?
Right? 2 weeks to the cruise.
Just about.
Football starts today.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas is right around the corner.
By the way, I saw a great thing. It was a meme, and it said me telling my wife or girlfriend, whatever, that there'll be football on every weekend until Valentine's Day 2025.
Yeah.
It's true.
And a new president in 98 days.
Maybe.
So what do we have? We have football today.
Yeah.
The you got 3 preseason games?
Today is just one, I believe.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
but
a
I'm
Hall of
saying
Fame.
it's 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
All right, so we still got a real ways to go.
I think the Bucks play next Saturday.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Preseason sucks. It really just is like a tease.
But not so bad if you're really into your team because you can kind of see who's doing well and you can check out the newer guys and all that. Like, it's not good for football, but
I like watching a lot of college football. I like to see different players, where they went and how they're playing so far.
The Bucks play the Bengals Saturday, August 10th.
Nice.
So, yeah, not this Saturday, next Saturday.
I'm not sure if I said this on the air or not, but I talked to John Sarasani the other day, and he is going to come down for the first game and come to the tailgate and all that. He was very excited. Yeah, I love that dude. Bert was talking to Jimmy Kimmel, and he was like, "You got to follow this guy. You got to follow this guy." And the next time Jimmy Kimmel was on Bert, he goes, "Bert, you keep telling me that, and I followed the guy, but I'm not seeing anything."
Yeah,
you gotta appreciate who he is and what he is.
I love when he takes his haters and puts them up on the thing.
Yeah.
Well, Steve. Tell us how stupid they are.
Do you have a fountain in your living room?
Oh man.
You know what else today is besides football day?
What?
National Girlfriend Day.
Oh.
I don't like to talk about that when my wife's listening.
For all your girlfriend. Well, she's sleeping. That's why I figured bring it up now.
Yeah,
So
but the hall's probably awake.
Way to spoil my news, Carmen.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Thanks. I don't have anything.
I'm gonna
oh,
text.
yeah. I took your biggest story.
That was it. It's a slow news day.
You're the only one who appreciates National Girlfriend Day.
I don't. I'm not going to get noted. I'm not going to get anything for it. I told Chad yesterday. He already forgot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean,
sounds like
these are all-
everything's going great.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't forget Chicken Wing Day, but he forgot Girlfriend Day.
correct.
Well,
No, he is very busy. There's been some movement over there, and Chad has been promoted.
Oh.
Very nice.
He is officially the head coach
Wow.
of Chamberlain football.
Wow.
So he was what, offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator, assistant head coach, and now he is just officially the head coach.
Nice. Congratulations.
What
Yeah.
happened to Wilder?
Wilder, so he's actually going back to school to get his bachelor's, and he also has a sports academy. So he wants to focus more on getting his degree and his sports academy, which is for basically the youth that is coming into Chamberlain.
Right.
So he's been working with the younger kids, and he just figured he can focus more time on that and getting his bachelor's. He didn't really have enough time to focus being the head coach for the
Chad
high
pushed
school.
him out.
Yeah.
Chad pushed him right
Way
out.
to go, Chad.
Squeeze them out.
I don't
Do
care
it.
that you were a professional football player. I can do better and push him right out.
No. It just made sense. James Wilder, he was just spreading himself a little too thin amongst all of his things. And with Chad being a teacher and being there all the time,
Yeah.
it just made a little bit more sense for him to take that position.
So let me ask you a question. I know you can't say this on the air, but that's a paid position?
Yes, but
He gets paid to be a teacher and then gets additional money to be a coach?
yes, but the additional money is like $1,000 for the season.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay. That's I wanted to see how low it was.
Yeah,
like here's a thank you for your time.
Yeah,
It's not
thank you.
even-
Thank you for working a second job. Go take yourself out to eat one night.
I went to a parent coach meeting one time when Joey played, and the coach was like, I have a couple of things to ask you. If you need me, text me, and as soon as I can, I'd get back to you. And I thought, that's weird. And then he explained that he was like, I work a full-time job, leave here. He goes, I come in the morning for pre-workouts, then I do work a full-time job. Then after my full-time job, I come back to the school for practice. I'm here for 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. Then I go home and I have to look at film and all this stuff. He goes, at some point, I'd like to spend time with my family. And I went, and I guarantee you they're not paying him nearly enough. You really have to love being a coach and being with the kids and what you do to do that job.
Yeah, whatever sport. So like Chad leaves the house around like 5:20, 5:30 when I'm leaving, and he like once school starts, he's not gonna be home until 7:00. He's
Wow.
pulling a 14-hour day at school. Like unless you're a teacher, and then on top of that, if you're not a teacher, yes, you go there, do a workout, leave, go to your job, and then go back for practice. Chad is because he's a teacher, he's gonna go to school at 5:30 and be at school until the end of practice at 7 p.m.
That's crazy, man. I have no interest in that at all.
And
Even if my kid was on the team.
Oh, listen, and he loves it. He comes home, he's talking football all day long, and then he comes home and he wants to talk football with me, and I have to after about 30 minutes to an hour, I'm like, okay, enough.
When we take a really long break at Christmas, like we have like 2 weeks off at Christmas time, and by the 8th day, my wife goes, please go back to work.
Yeah.
She's just done hearing my stupid jokes and me talking about politics and all that.
Go make fun of somebody else.
I feel so weird. I was so into following high school football when my son was playing, and now I'm just like not.
No, what's the interest? Now you're just watching little kids.
Exactly. It's weird. It was fun though at the time because you can follow all the teams and
I'm interested in Chad's, like our team now is Chamberlain because of Chad. You know what I mean? Like that's the only real interest I have. And well, your son's out. So,
Well, my daughters still go there, so I'll still follow a little bit. But
interesting. I had a pretty good day yesterday. A couple of days ago, last week, we talked about this kid Carter who was homeless. His mom was on crack, and he was out on the streets. And this Tampa YouTube guy who I follow because he does food reviews finds this kid and puts him out there and says, hey, maybe we can get a GoFundMe and kind of help this kid out. And for some reason, I think it's probably because I have a son that's a similar age. It really made me feel awful that this kid was like living out there and blah, blah, blah. And we raised like $2,000 for the kid. And that was really cool. And yesterday I went and got to go meet him. And I have some money in the bank for the Calta Family Foundation. So I bought him some shoes and some clothes and some stuff. But boy, is our foster situation just really garbage, man.
Oh, all of that stuff. Yeah, like the foster situation, veteran situation, any homeless situation. I mean, it's
like there's a problem with no end. The good news is this kid lives in a foster house, and they call it a facility, but it's a house, and the house is able to house 4 kids, and they have a place to stay and all that. And then when they leave, they have to sign out that they're leaving and come back. When they're free to come and go, but they keep track of them. And I met one of the guys who runs the house yesterday, and I felt a lot better after talking to him. I mean, I expected him to just be a mess and just be, like not caring and all, but it was very different than what I suspected. But it was good to meet the kid and to let people know that their money that they donated to the Calta Family Foundation was put to use yesterday. And this kid got some sneakers and some clothes, and he was very happy. And he sees that people care about him, which is really, hard to show a kid whose mother's out on the streets and on crack, and his father that he doesn't really know. So it was a good morning this morning yesterday. Then what did I do? Can't remember what I did yesterday. I'm going to Disney this weekend, and my head is there. I'm already there. I'm in Star Wars land.
Yesterday I went to the gym, and then did you go to the gym?
I did not go to the gym yesterday.
What? Spanish got a haircut.
Yeah.
But here's my my guy Sean is away. He left yesterday morning, so we worked out 2 days in a row the other day, Galvin. Since you brought it up,
hell yeah,
my abs hurt. I'm just saying, abs.
You look good.
You do have abs. Everyone has abs.
Yeah,
Whether you can see them or not is
I'd like
a
to meet
different
them
story.
before I die. Yeah, it would be nice.
So are you getting the tour guide at Disney, or what's the plan?
There's no tour guide at Disney. Not only, listen to this. You want to know how expensive things are right now? Because they change those things based on the time.
Oh, it's insane.
Christmas, good luck. Universal. We're going to Universal on Friday. We have Universal passes. We're going Friday afternoon for a little while. How much is a Universal Fast Pass?
Universal Fast Pass for one person.
Now, let me just tell you, if you stay at a Universal Hotel, which we are not because we're going to Disney, if you stay at a Universal Hotel, your room key is a Fast Pass.
Okay.
So you're already set. So that's usually what we do. And I can't remember the last time I bought a Fast Pass.
So are we doing the price of a fast pass not included with the ticket?
Not included with the ticket.
All right, so if you
your
get a
ticket alone is $100 or so.
And then to get a fast pass on top of that, you're looking at $125.
Wrong.
$150 per person.
Wrong.
Whoa.
Oh, $500 a person.
Wrong.
$185 a person.
Wrong.
$300 a person.
Wrong. $220 per person. No, it gets worse.
It makes sense to stay at the hotel then.
Yeah.
Like it's cheaper to stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
So but I found out some stuff, Calvin.
Right.
So it is usually around $100 a person.
That's what I thought.
Right. But if you look when you go to buy it, there's a calendar, and the calendar each day has different prices, probably based on how many people have bought already or how many people are in the
How
park
busy
that
the
day.
park is, yeah.
So for Friday night it was $220.
Damn.
So but then I found out, and I don't know who knows this or not, but I'm an annual pass holder, and after 4:00 your annual pass is your fast pass.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
That's cool.
And we're not going till the afternoon anyway. I was like, whoa.
I think it depends on what level you have, but if you got like the top tier, you got the 4 p.m. thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had the fast pass. We had the annual passes for a couple years. Universal's great.
Universal's awesome.
Yeah.
And even if you go like 5 times a year, it's worth it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And we whenever we go to just Universal, we stay at the hotel. So we always have the fast pass, and it makes it possible to see everything in both of those parks.
Yeah,
so.
we'd always go in the afternoon because it wasn't as hot, and then we'd go for 2-3 hours and bounce.
Yeah.
If there was a long line, we didn't worry about waiting in it because we'd been on everything anyways. We just kind of hang out the park.
Yeah. So I like it. And then mostly on Saturday or whatever, we're going to that Star Wars land, which I've never been to. So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, you're gonna have a blast.
I love that the whole trip was planned around me. My wife was like, we got Star Wars, this, and then nobody else asked for Star Wars. My kids never even watched Star Wars. I'm like, yep.
It's gonna be cool. You're gonna be excited when you see that Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. I just have never been in it.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool because at nighttime, like the cockpit and everything lights up. And then if you look in there, Luke will walk by,
Oh, really?
Harrison Ford will sit down, Chewbacca. Yeah, it's cool.
Does Luke walk by and yell something about Trump?
Man, he has gone wild.
Dude, I saw a thing the other day. It said, aren't you sad that you grew up and realized that Luke Skywalker is just a nerd?
I never liked Luke. I liked Han Solo.
Right, yeah, I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Luke was just, he was a little baby.
Yeah.
You know?
And made
He
out
always
with his sister.
He always had an attitude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's incest in Star Wars.
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you like it? What are you,
No.
dragons fantasy?
He didn't know that was his sister at the time.
It doesn't matter.
He
It's
didn't
still
know.
his sister.
He did not know.
By the way, speaking of dragons, Carmen, are you caught up on House of the Dragon?
No, I know.
man.
I need to catch up.
Season finales this weekend, so
Yeah.
you got to get caught
Okay.
up.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you, it is really good. Spanish. I know
agree.
that you were into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I
House
gotta
of the
check it
Dragon
out.
is really good.
All right.
And especially this last week. The last 2
Yes.
weeks have been really good.
I saw people are posting stuff that the dragons are doing in the episodes online, and I saw something, and I was like, God, that looks pretty awesome.
It's
Not gonna
really well
lie.
done.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Now, what is
catching
there?
up.
2 seasons?
Two seasons so far,
Yeah.
I should watch it.
Yeah.
One day I should just take a break from The Godfather and watch it.
Yeah. How
Like
do
we
you
said,
watch the same
I don't think
thing?
you need to watch the original Game of Thrones to
No.
enjoy this.
You would. There's little things that you'll get and stuff, but yeah, you don't need to. It's not like a necessity.
Yeah.
You'd be able to figure stuff out.
Carmen, how do I watch the same movie every night? I don't know. I put it on for a second just when I turn the TV on, and I go, well, let me just watch this part. Next thing you know, I've watched the whole movie.
See, and that's the thing, like, because you watch the whole thing. Like, I put on Friends or Modern Family to fall asleep, though. You know
I
what
have
I mean?
to, when it's time to go to sleep, I have to change the channel to
Right.
something else.
We were going to bed last night, and my wife, I put on MGM always has Tom Cruise, huh?
Yep.
And I put on Dead Reckoning, the Mission Impossible. It was just coming on, and my wife, like 5 minutes in, she's closed her eyes, she's laying there, and she just goes, "What movie is this?" Like that, like very accusatory. And I go, "It's Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning." And she goes, "Oh," and I go, "Would you think it was Maverick?" And she goes, "No, but I heard Tom Cruise's voice." And I go, "Yes, because he makes wonderful movies."
Yeah.
I go, "Why are you so mad at Tom Cruise?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "I'm not mad. I just heard his voice." And I go, "No, you asked very accusatory, and you knew that it was Tom Cruise,
yeah.
and you were mad about Tom Cruise." I go,
Yeah.
"I don't understand it."
Amanda goes, she looked at me and I go, just do me a favor. Just watch this one.
Yeah.
I go, just watch Michael's face when he says it. And then she looked at me and she goes, "You're making me hate this movie."
Shane Gillis says in his stand-up special about the women in the audience, he goes, "I know you're here because your boyfriend's listening to the podcast and you're sick and tired of hearing, no, babe, just listen to this one part. It's really funny."
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. Yeah. And the best is one time I did it as a joke, but we went into the gym to work out together. She was on her little Peloton bike and I was on the treadmill, and there's a big TV in there that she never uses because she uses the Peloton monitor. And I just put The Godfather in. She goes, "No." I'm just kidding. It's one thing I don't know if you could do.
That'd be good motivation is if you could hook it up somehow where the faster she pedals, the faster the movie goes. So she can get it over with.
I have to tell you, all my life, I was like, great movies, but Goodfellas is my movie. I'm definitely flip-flopping.
Yeah.
For sure.
Godfather now?
I even started watching The Offer again, the Miles Teller making of the Godfather movie. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it really was good. That came out of nowhere, that movie. That series, rather.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. Yesterday, I almost got in 2 political fights in this house. I'm in this room doing commercials yesterday, and I walk out, and my mother-in-law is here in the kitchen. So I walk in, I say hi, and I'm getting a drink. And on her way out, she's leaving as I go out there, and she said something to my wife about mothers with no kids or whatever. And my wife's like, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, J.D. Vance and blah, blah, blah." And then she left, and I go, "Did your mother just want to fight with me?" I go, "Is that what?" She goes, "I don't know. She didn't say one thing about politics till you walked out here." I go, "I don't know what." I go, "I'm not going to sit here and fight with your mother." I go, "But she's picking fights now."
Do they listen to the show, or is this like an ongoing thing?
My mother-in-law, I know, listens to the show if she's out in the house, but it's ongoing because I am not like a crazy Trump guy by any means. I just feel like in this election, I can't vote for Biden or Harris. Yeah. And they wholeheartedly disagree. They hate Trump. And my wife is kind of like, I can't bring myself to vote for him. But my wife also has an interest in things that I'm not interested in. She's interested in a lot of things that go along with her job and Trump's real lack of empathy for,
social issues.
Yeah, the social issues. And and then yesterday my mother-in-law leaves and we let it go. It's like, no big deal. It's whatever. It's funny. And then they showed Trump talking to the black lady journalist or something like that. And the lady comes out of the gate asking a question and about him calling black people names and this, that, and the other, and maybe being racist and having white supremacist at Mar-a-Lago. And he goes, it was much like when Medicine Man said to Carney Wilson, "Welcome the fat one for Wilson Phillips," where Trump goes, "Well, that's a pretty rude way to start everything. You don't even say hello. You just start yelling, blah, blah, blah." And my wife goes, "That's typical narcissistic behavior to do." I go, "Oh," they brought him out there and then right away attacked him. And she goes, "Yeah, and the presidential thing would be to turn it around and answer it." I go, "But that's why people like him, because he's not like that." And then we end up getting an argument.
I would have said you're right. That lady is a narcissist.
But yeah, that's what I'm like, you don't understand. He is trying to get elected. You are looking for him to be. His fan base wants him to fight back and wants him to answer like that, and that's what he does. He delivers on what you expect from him.
And I saw it in that, like, the lady was not trying to ask a question. She was just trying to list every bad thing that she thought
There's
about
no way that you can be cool to somebody by starting out by saying, and you've had you've had white supremacists over for dinner.
Yeah.
There's never, I mean, look, that's a question you may want to go, "Hey, can we ask you a question? Why would you do that?" And give him a chance to explain it. Like all these people you were friends with Jeffrey Epstein. No, I wasn't. I met him like 3 times at parties and stuff. Give him a chance to answer the thing. But I don't know. That was an argument that we had, not an argument, a discussion we had. And I feel like that's what's going on in the rest of the world.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I don't even know. You asked me if Trump and Biden and Trump getting shot, I was like 100% he's winning this election.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know. Everything is so neck and neck. I don't even know what's going on.
When did that
Luke
happen?
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to shoot him again.
Yeah. It's like barely even like it's an afterthought.
So weird.
Well, watching those congressional hearings, the one that resigned, the lady that resigned, she was just getting torn apart. The guy that's there now, the guy that's the interim guy, he looks like he should be the Secret Service leader.
He looks like from TV.
Yeah, they
in a
casted
movie.
him. Yeah, and he's got a big, thick head. He looks like Jocko Willenick's brother.
Yeah.
And he's fighting back with people and answering. And it's pretty. But the best is that he's fighting back, but the whole time he's like, "We failed. He's not arguing that fact. You know. Do you think we'll get Kamala Harris on the show?
No,
Probably not.
I just see her doing all the black radio shows.
no.
She
In Florida, no. They're not even coming here.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
so
there's no
solid
winning.
red.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Which is interesting because it didn't used to be.
It did not.
It was definitely one of those
Yeah.
toss ups.
I think
Not
there's
anymore.
registered Republicans. There's like 2 million more than registered Democrats.
I don't know. I'm a registered Republican who's voted Democrat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
It's hard to tell.
Me too.
I don't know why. I think I was a Democrat, then I switched over, and then I think I was going to go independent, but I didn't want to be left out of the primaries, so I was like, no, I got to pick one.
I think being in Florida, we don't realize how many people do not like Trump because we're around here. It's majority of people are supporters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see it. I realize it, but
I've heard some stuff.
Yeah.
When you go to the place, you're like, wow, they really do not like him here.
I just can't. I can't understand. I know people will vote just to not vote for Trump, but I mean, I look at Kamala Harris and I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't. Can you imagine 4 years with her as the president?
No, but that's because we've talked about it. The media and all these people get so many people so emotionally involved. Like whenever you even go to talk somebody that has a different opinion, as soon as they get emotional, you can see it in their face where they just go somewhere else and rage comes out. And you're like, why is this happening?
That blows my mind that people are so just wrapped up in like politics.
Yeah.
Like
And-
on their, it's like it consumes their daily lives, and it just blows my mind.
Well, I saw a video, and it's a girl journalist who's just walking around, and she's just interviewing people, and then she takes a black guy from the Democratic side over to the Republican side
I saw
of the
that.
protest, and they walk around. Everyone's like, "You should come party with us. Here's a beer," and everyone's just having a good time. It's like a big party, and then they go over to the Republicans or the Democratic side, and they take a Republican, and they're like, "You suck. You're the worst. You should go kill yourself."
And they're calling her a bitch and
Yeah,
everything.
they're like, you and they're just going off on her, and they're like, I thought you guys were all supposed to be, accept everyone for who they are, and everyone be you. And
the amount of people that I heard say that they wish Trump would have got killed by that bullet is
It's
insane to me.
wild.
It's another
Disgusting.
human being. You don't have to like him, but I mean, it's
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
there was one girl who cried about it, like, we had our chance. How do you miss it? And I'm like, what is wrong with
We
that's a
had
mental
our
disorder.
chance.
Yeah.
Get a rifle and climb, fatty. What do you want?
Apparently, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the new video from behind Trump now? They,
With the guy
yeah.
running
Yeah,
across the roof.
you can see it.
dude, it's. I'm like surprised Trump didn't see it.
Yeah.
it's insane.
But also, how did they wait so long? I still don't get that. Like,
It's almost like it was set up.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Did you see the video that I sent you that talks about when that guy that looks very much like the CEO from BlackRock came and picked that kid up from school?
No.
Yeah, Thomas Crooks. It's pretty wild. And he had 9 phones in his house, and they all seem to go to different headquarters of
Who, the
FBI,
kid did?
BlackRock. Yeah,
See,
Thomas Crooks.
Here's the thing, though. The Spanish is that it's so hard for me to believe that. Like, how is that not coming up in the congressional hearing?
Because they're still doing an investigation.
Okay, but some idiot on YouTube knows about it. How is that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well-
how is that not the top news?
Well, I mean, I don't know why it's not the top news. I could tell you why I think it's not the top news. It's because I think they'd rather us argue about Kamala Harris and Trump than really dive into
Right.
this stuff. But they released, remember I was telling you last week, they released the
but
data on a...
Let me just jump in for a second. If I was Fox 13 local Tampa news and I got this story and I got on the air and I said that this kid had 9 cell phones and there's video of the guy from BlackRock picking him up from school. I mean, come on, that is something you go, oh my God.
Well,
It's
It's not confirmed that it's the guy from BlackRock. It just looks eerily
Okay.
similar, and they did the
But then
AI
do an
thing over the video.
investigation. Yeah.
I
And
think
then-
they are, but I think it, and I don't know how this is. Maybe Charlie Belcher could tell us if this is true or not. But when you see those videos where it's every local news station saying the
Right.
exact same thing, it always makes me wonder.
Charlie Belcher
who's
talks to
choosing-
goats in the morning
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
show. What
yeah.
does he know about how news is run?
But you know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't know who's choosing what stories run.
That's, who runs the news?
They have news wires and they all pick up the same story, but who is saying this is the
Yeah.
story
Right,
for
news
today?
director,
Yeah.
saying this is what you got to do.
That's why
And
you
then-
see the same story on,
And then you get an independent journalist who grabs all this cell phone data and correlates it with towers, and he brings all this stuff forward, and then everybody just calls that guy a conspiracy theorist, and he gets swept under the rug.
Yeah. Too much BlackRock involved in this story.
It's a lot.
The fact that they own that building, like how do you get a guy to get to the roof of a building unless you know everything about that building?
They
'Cause you own
shorted
it.
the company BlackRock shorted another company in the stock market right before the assassination
I saw
attempt.
that.
Yeah, and then the company allowed them to take all their money back since they lost the short. They didn't have to pay up.
But then if you go to the news today, like that's not the assassination stuff. That's old news, man. Nobody cares. Like it was like 2-3 weeks ago. It's crazy that that's just like fallen to the wayside. And today it's all like, well, Trump thinks that she chose to be black and she's actually Indian.
Yeah.
That was like the top story in every
Well, it was
website.
pretty funny the way you said it.
It was crazy.
He's so ridiculous. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
So yeah, no election for sure this year.
I don't look. I was talking to somebody about that this weekend about how you're pretty sure that there's not going to be an election.
I don't know. I just maybe we'll still have some form of an election, but I don't think it's going to be like how we're used to. I think there's just too much stuff happening, and the Democratic Party or whoever is in control is slowly losing it because they missed Trump. They're going to have to redirect all this stuff. They got Kamala Harris as their front runner that nobody likes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
China's moving in Antarctica, and they're moving ships closer and closer to American ships. We're using stealth bombs that we've never shown the world we've had.
Notice you haven't seen Biden at all now either.
Yeah.
It's like he's gone.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead.
Doesn't even
He's been
exist
dead
anymore.
for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like,
weird.
yeah.
And we're literally like 98 days from election.
Did I tell you my sister? I went to my sister's house the other day, and she had just bought the movie Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
Because my cousin told her they were talking about Biden and the possibility that he was dead, and blah blah blah. It was just all the rumors that were going around, and she said to her, "You have to watch this movie, Dave." And I was so excited that she got it. I was like, "Oh, I want to watch it with you."
So Dave was fantastic, but do you remember the other movie where Richard Dreyfuss was like some other leader, like of somewhere else? Wasn't there a thing where they took him and made him tan and put a mustache on him and stuff?
Oh yeah,
wasn't there something like that?
Yeah, I don't recall. Yeah, but there's also a movie with a guy. I think I talked about this, man. It was a guy who, Paul Winfield, I think. Pull up Paul Winfield Spanish if you can. I felt like, wow, it was the most I ever felt like Joe Rogan. Pull up Paul Winfield.
Okay.
Paul Winfield kind of looks like Martin Luther King a little bit. Like he played him in the movies and stuff. The movie, I think, was Paul Winfield, and he was like the fourth guy in line for the presidency. And there was an attack, and the vice president and president were killed, and this guy, and then the next guy in line was too old to do it. He turned it down. So Paul Winfield became the first black president.
Oh,
But this was like in the 70s, so it was really something.
Moon over Parador was. The
Oh
movie
yeah, with Dreyfuss, yeah.
Where he would do an imitation of the leader, and then something happened, and so they took him and made him the leader. And
It's so funny. Yeah. If you haven't seen Dave, Carmen,
Dave's great.
Pretty sure it's an HD.
she'd hate it.
Yeah.
It's
Would
not
she?
an HD.
Why?
Yeah.
No, I think Carmen will like it.
Yeah,
It's fun. It's
funny.
It's a comedy.
It's
Okay.
about a guy who looks like the president at the time, does like a little side gig where he shows up at parties and pretends to be the president, and the president has a stroke, and they don't want to tell everybody, so they just hire this guy so he could fill in for a couple of days, just wave to the people, and then all of a sudden he ends up taking the job for a couple months.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's almost kind of like they predicted the future.
Yeah.
That's what they do in
Weird.
real life.
Weird. All right, let's take a break and get this show moving this morning. We got an open letter rewind happening. We got Frank Caroliando coming in the studio. We were supposed to also talk to Cody Tucker today. I got to remember that.
Okay.
And then Martine Grammatico will be here because we've got football, and it starts tonight. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's garbage football tonight. Let's be honest. I don't even know who's playing. And it's the Hall of Fame game, and nobody cares. But just to have it on in the background makes me happy.
But you should care. I have some stuff in news that I think you will care about for the Hall of Fame game.
All right, good to know. We'll take a quick break.
If Carmen doesn't spill it first.
Don't spill.
I'm done talking. I'm leaving.
Finally. We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. And now we got some stuff to give away. Carmen, what is that stuff?
We do. So we have tickets for Hailstorm, which
No,
is
that didn't happen yet?
it's tonight.
Oh.
So we have tickets for that if you want to go tonight.
Nope.
We have tickets for Limp Bizkit,
Geo.
Slash,
Okay.
Stone Temple Pilots,
Okay.
and Imposters of Rock.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. That's a show.
And and we also have those other tickets. I don't know how you want to give those away.
we're good on
But
that.
yeah, not Sporkle, but
All right. Let's do it right now. A little bit of Sporkle. Here we go. Carmen is the keeper of Sporkle. Pap is your judge and scorekeeper. Galvin, was Galvin the streak slayer?
I
He
was.
was.
There are no streaks currently going. Carmen, what are we playing today?
okay. Today we're going to be playing. Okay. We're going to be playing word overlaps. Can you name the 4-letter words that overlap the next word by 2 letters? So the last 2 letters of the word are going to be the first 2 letters of the next word. We played half of this last week.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Okay. Your first one. Encourage. Persuade. 4-letter word. Encourage. Persuade.
Help.
Lead.
Urge.
Hmm.
To urge. Okay, so the last 2 letters will be your first 2 letters this next word.
Gotcha.
Drive. Reverse.
Gear.
Geo. Military troops.
Army.
Galvin. Legendary story.
Myth.
Geo. Not fat.
Thin.
Galvin. 1/12 of a foot.
Inch.
Yes. Geo, was that you?
No, I didn't answer.
Oh, Spanish?
That was
No.
Galvin.
Thank you.
Galvin. Okay, sorry. I can't hear.
All right.
Your next one. Informal chat.
Chit.
Nope, sorry.
Chat.
Informal conversation in the chat. My bad. Sorry.
So are we going to a chat?
Yes, you're going
Okay.
off a chat. Sorry. Smallest component of an element. Mike Calta. Leave out.
Okay.
Mike. Tickling sensation. Geo. And Pap. We're halfway there.
Spanish is not on the board. He has a total of 0.
Loser.
Michael with 2 points, and Gio and Galvin are tied. They both have 3.
Okay.
I'm back, baby.
All right, we're doing 4-letter words overlap. Your last word was itch. Your next one, use an axe to cut.
Chop.
Oh, idiot.
Spanish. Precious stone.
Opal.
Yes. Spanish.
No, that was Gio.
Yeah.
Geo. Second highest vocal range.
Alto.
Mike Calta. Heavy book. You're going off of alto.
Torah.
Heavy.
T-O-M-B? Yeah.
I was trying to say. That's what I was thinking.
What was it?
Tome.
Tome.
Damn it.
And it's Tome. Just so
Okay.
you know for the next one.
Thank you.
1 million prefix. Your last word
Millennial. No.
was 4-letter
Oh,
word.
yeah, 4-letter word.
Last word was tome. 1 million prefix. Mega is what I was looking for. Sudden intake of breath.
Gasp.
Mike. Rotated.
Spin.
Spun.
Spun.
Rotated. The past tense.
Spanish.
I got it.
Reverse the effects of.
Undo.
Spanish. Quantity of medicine.
Dose.
Mike. And Pap.
It's not Mike.
That was totally me.
No.
Go to the judge.
No, who's he going to get? Of course, he's gonna get
Judge?
the mic.
It was Michael.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then back to the judge. We're on the last 3.
Galvin has 3 points. Spanish and Gio both with 4, and Michael is your leader right now. He's winning with 5.
Because I got that last one.
That's
Joe
right.
gave it.
All
Thank
tied
you,
up.
Joe.
You're welcome.
All right. 4-letter words overlapping. Your last word was dose. Last 3. Here we go. Plants grow from this.
Yeah.
Spanish. Revise. Correct.
Edit.
Slow it down.
Spanish.
What's the score now?
Score is Spanish 5, Michael 6, Gio 4, Galvin 3.
All tied up.
What was the last word now?
Last word was
Edit.
edit. And the last one. A thing on a list.
Item.
We are tied up, and we go to the extra question. This is just between
What's the score?
Mike and Spanish.
What, Joe?
6-6.
What's the score? You look confused.
Yeah, because Michael had 5. You
Yeah.
just got that. And you
But
had,
you said Mike had 6.
You
You
did.
had Mike
Yeah,
had
so-
6, Spanish
so-
had 5, so he tied it.
Or did he just
I had
win?
7 on mine.
I thought
Yeah.
you,
Keeping track.
Oh.
yeah, that's what you have 7.
So you said it wrong.
Yeah, sorry.
but you gave Mike an extra point.
So Spanish 1?
Spanish won.
Because I had 4, he said you had 5, and then he
He said I
you
had 6.
yeah, I said he had 6, but it was
So you
it was
said
5.
So was it 5 or 6?
Good
So
job.
I went from tying to losing?
Yeah.
Because Joe got it wrong.
No,
What was the
because
tie?
Spanish got the last 3 points.
No.
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
But you were 1 ahead of me when we did before Final 3.
Yeah, 5
Which-
is 1 ahead of 4.
Yeah,
He
but
said
then you
I
just
had
said you had 6
6.
before that.
He said I had 6 at the last 3.
Right.
Yeah.
But you did not.
You had
But
I
5.
didn't know.
It was 5.
Right. He was wrong, so he messed you up.
Even with 6, Spanish had 7.
Right.
Jerk.
Yeah.
What was
All right.
the tie one?
The tie, so your last word was item. And the last question, large flightless bird.
Emu.
Galvin. I need it's 4 letters.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you want the extra?
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if you guys were gonna get emus.
All right.
Your last
Emu.
So the last one, drug addict.
User.
Galvin.
I win.
No, those are all extra.
If Spanish played
That's
and
right.
I beat him,
You
I win.
win.
No,
I know
those
it's
were
when
all
I
extra.
see it. Congratulations, Galvin.
Thank you. 2 in a row.
No.
Yeah. According to Joe, we're all tied up.
Yeah.
That's right.
What do you got? What do we got in the year totals?
The year totals, Michael. Gio is in 4th place with 7 wins for the year. I am in 3rd with 16 wins for the year. Galvin is in 2nd with 42 wins for the year. And Michael, you are the leader with 69 wins for the year.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Congratulations, Spanish. Pick a line.
Thank you. Line 3, please.
Line 3. Good morning. Who's this? Well,
come on.
Pick another line, Spanish.
Line 5.
5. Good morning. Hello. Who is this?
Hey, this is James.
Hey, James. Hold on. Carmen will grab you during the break and we'll hook you up with the prize. Okay, buddy?
Cool, thanks.
All right. There you go.
Unfortunately, James, you have to go to dinner with Spanish.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
going to be a good thing.
I don't know about
Nope.
that. Galvin, what do we have coming up in news?
Coming up in news today, we have Soiled for You, new lineup, and all sorts of technologies.
No.
Yeah.
All right, Galvin, as your news, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll do that in the 8 o'clock hour. Frank Caliendo will be here at 9 o'clock hour. Martin Gramatica. Remember him?
Whoa.
Martin Gramatica. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. Love Tiger is collecting
my
money
God.
right now.
Oh,
To go-
really?
To go
I saw
to get
that.
an Amtrak ticket to go to his high school reunion.
Oh, didn't he already try and do that?
He did
lost
that- he
his
did it once
luggage.
before.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, brother.
I don't think he should travel in that state. He's
Oh, no.
No.
he's like a balloon about to pop.
But at least he's doing train instead of airplane, because airplane, it just pop.
Oh.
Could you
as soon
imagine?
as they hit that altitude,
Oh, could you imagine sitting next to that kid and his foot explodes
Little
and shoots
pig-
into your face?
little piglet toes everywhere flying around the
Oh, my
airplane.
God.
Oh yeah, no, that's so good. Why don't he just let the foot grow a little bit more and then he could just float there on the foot like a blimp?
I bet you it tastes like veal.
Oh, God.
Gross. All right, it is time to check in with Galvin. He has today's news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
Sorry, what do we have news today?
Oh, sorry.
I had an ice cube stuck in my throat.
Today's news is brought to you by Pelt Shoes. If you need some new shoes, stop into Pelt's. They have the 3D scan that's going to give you the perfect fit. It'll give you the exact measurement. They'll actually email you all the information so you know what shoe fits you perfectly, because you might be wearing the wrong size shoes, and that's no good. That's going to cause knee pain and back pain and all kind of stuff. Of course, back to school is happening, so if you need to get your kids some new shoes, stop into Pelt's, get some new shoes, and save some money, because tax-free is going on for 2 weeks this year. It's going through August 11th, so you can stop into one of Pelt's 6 locations throughout Pinellas, Sarasota, and Fort Myers. Get some deals on some shoes and get the perfect fit. Pelt Shoes, stop in there today. Make sure you tell them Galvin sent you. So the big news, NFL is back, baby.
Yeah.
Starts back tonight. The Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans kick off the 2024 NFL preseason tonight at 8 p.m.
Who is it? The Texans and who?
In the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a weird game.
The exhibition coincides with the annual Pro Hall of Fame induction, which includes likes of Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, and Julius Peppers this year. The NFL's movement toward measuring first downs with technology instead of the traditional chain gang doesn't fix everything, but it'll be a right step.
Boy.
Well, here's the deal. So we'll see some new technology in select preseason games. The NFL will use Sony's Hawkeye technology
Hawk to it.
in some preseason games. Once the ball is spotted, Hawkeye tells officials if it's first down or not.
Oh.
That will speed up the game and eliminate the few errors with the chains coming out.
No chain gang.
Yeah, but like that is so
it's
antiquated.
Yeah.
It's like all this different stuff we have, and then they're like, I don't know, measure it with a chain, you know?
Yeah, but it's something that was kind of exciting about them getting the chain and running out there and stretching out the chain. Oh, by a nose, you know.
But I mean, like by now, you think they'd put like an air tag inside the ball, and it would tell you exactly where it goes down.
Right.
You know what
and
I mean?
have the different stuff on the different yard lines and everything. So I don't know exactly what goes into this Sony's Hawkeye.
Right, they may have
technology.
done that, Carmen. They may have something in the ball.
Tried. Yeah.
I would imagine with Sony though, it's probably something visual where they, do whatever.
Yeah.
But so we'll see that in some of the preseason games. I don't know whether it's going to be tonight or not, but that'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to falling asleep while it's playing in the background.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, because that's I'm not going to be really that interested in the game. The game's going to be awful, like it usually is. But it'd be nice to hear the sounds of football as you go to sleep.
Here's the thing, though. You can bet on it. Hard Rock Bet. You can bet on it.
Good luck.
Well, yes, because it's preseason and you're not really sure, but you can bet play by play.
Yeah.
So you can do some of that stuff, which is always interesting, whether it's going to be a throw or a pass, whether they're going to get a first down, whether they go for a field goal, all that kind of stuff. So it's always fun.
Yeah.
Always
Oh, listen, it makes even the dumbest games more exciting when you're betting.
So I'm not a baseball fan, and I have not watched baseball for a long time, but I started betting on baseball a little bit. I got into it, and there was a few things that I noticed, and I don't know how long they've been doing this. The oven mitts, whenever they get on base and they put the oven mitts on so they don't get their little fingers hurt when they're sliding into.
I'm unfamiliar with the oven mitts.
So they have running gloves, I guess they call them, whatever. They have the batting glove and they do the stuff and they take their things off whenever they go to first base, if they get walked or whatever.
Right.
Once they get to first base, they'll take it off. But then they put on these mitts. They're mittens.
Yeah.
And so whenever they slide, they're not jamming their fingers or people aren't stepping on their fingers. But yeah, I was like, that's weird. And I don't know when this came into play. Like I said, I have not watched baseball for a long time. The pitcher has a certain amount of time to pitch.
Yeah.
Now. They're on the clock.
I think last
I
season
was
they
trying to
added
cut the game time down.
It makes it a lot faster.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot faster. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I still don't like baseball.
No.
Yeah.
If you can bet on it, it's fun.
Yeah, I didn't say I wasn't betting on it. I just don't like to sit there and watch a whole game.
Speaking of sports, Team USA won 4 more medals at the Olympics.
USA.
And girl power. They were all won by women.
Oh.
Swimmer Katie Ledecky broke her own Olympic record in the 1,500-meter freestyle, snagging the 8th gold medal of her career.
She is insane.
Yeah.
She's like lapping the field, and it's like the best swimmers in the world, and they're not even close.
In the screen.
Yeah, not even in the shot.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Insane.
How about when they do that thing where they jump in and then they wiggle for a couple of feet?
Yeah.
They just do the wiggle, and then they all at the same time start swimming, and then they do the turn. It's pretty crazy to watch.
That kickflip turn thing,
nuts.
everybody's tried to do it, right?
100%.
Like everybody's tried to do it, and you're like, and you smash your ankle on the thing. They do it so smooth and so good, and then they go underwater again for like however far they go and come popping back up. You're like, good
I watched
Lord.
a lot of USA volleyball yesterday.
Yes.
I mean, I was watching and I had to go. I had to leave. I'm like, well, I gotta. I'm like, I can't leave until I know who wins.
Yeah.
But it was USA and Serbia that I was watching.
Men or
I don't
women?
know. Women.
Women, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I mean, that ball is just smashed to the other side. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody comes diving on.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to watch.
Who is it? The pedophile from
Oh.
Denmark. He keeps getting booed anytime he touches the ball
Oh,
or they're
really?
playing.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, boo the
Yeah.
whole time, the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
That's
Norway.
fun.
I think it's Norway, not Denmark. Sorry.
Cool, Mo.
Have you seen the memes going around of I think it's Colombia and Venezuelan those volleyball players?
No.
So I guess they're gonna have a matchup at one point, and everybody has photos of the athletes, and they're like, "Please God, just kiss at the end. Please God, they're so hot."
Some group hug or something.
Yeah,
I watched the female rugby. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Man, I
It was
love 'em.
wild.
That one chick that's on Team USA,
Yeah.
she's running and like three people tag her. She looks like Allstott. She's
Yeah.
like picking people up and
Yeah.
running
They
and doing
can't
it
stop
stuff.
her. I think
Yeah,
they
number
won,
2.
yeah, I think they won the bronze.
Yep, they did.
Number 2.
And then today is gymnastics all around. So because the women won the
team?
gold team finals, but this is all around. So now it's all individual.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Simone Biles will be winning everything today.
Yep.
Basically, yeah. So, but that's today at like 12:15. I'm very excited.
She's
That's-
wild to watch.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
she is.
I just don't understand how. Look, I've never been one to be able to do a flip, but I mean, even tumbling as a child was a pain in the ass. But that run and she just extends her body and just does a hole
Yeah.
in the middle of the air. It's crazy.
I don't know how the judges can tell
I know, right?
how many flips, because technically they actually write down their routine and let them know what each pass is going
Right.
to be.
Right.
And they actually removed the rule because it used to be if you did not do the pass or the whatever the routine that you had planned on doing, then you would actually get deducted for not doing
Right.
it. Where now they took that away. So let's say she's going for her triple double and she's not feeling it and she just does a double double. She's allowed to do that and she will not get deducted for it.
What'd you think of Burger Guy when she said double double?
I'm so glad I thought of basketball.
I saw it in your eyes. I saw it in your eyes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Carmen, is it because you did gymnastics? Is it
Right.
like ice skating where they have a certain amount of things that they have to do in the routine?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have a certain amount of elements that they have to hit. And then so like their scores start at 10, but because a lot of the skills that they're doing are way past it, they start at 10, but they can get extra points for the difficulty of their move.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's why they're getting like 14 threes and stuff now, because the level of difficulty has just
We
surpassed
should
what
have-
it used to be.
We should have a judge judging Joe as he throws the garbage.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right. Yeah.
I can
I
do
should do
that.
that with Gio.
Oh, well, I think it's 10s all the way.
I go out there and judge Joe all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, USA men's basketball beat South Sudan yesterday, which they had beat them before 101 to 100. It was a very close game, but they beat them yesterday 103 to 86. They were like, all right, settle down,
Yeah,
South
we'll-
Sudan.
we'll run today.
Spanish, you'll be interested
Yeah.
to know U.S. men's basketball plays Puerto Rico
Oh,
on Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah,
there's
not gonna-
there's
Wait a
going to be
second.
quite the height disparity.
What do
Yeah.
you mean Puerto Rico?
Yeah, because we're Puerto Rico's a Commonwealth,
we
not a
own
state.
it. We own the Puerto Rico.
You do, but the politicians in Puerto Rico are very smart, not wanting it to be a state, so they can just collect all of our tax money and not have to, deal
Yeah,
with it
it's like friends
So-
with benefits.
Yeah.
So then you operate as a separate country?
as a Commonwealth. Yeah, yeah.
So the Commonwealth shouldn't be allowed in the Olympics. You're not even a country.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna be honest with you.
they also have a refugee team. Did you know that?
No.
I did not
Yeah,
know
there is
that.
a refugee team in the Olympics for people who are refugees
There are
from
no countries.
different
That's
countries.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't
Summer
know.
Olympics way better than Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do
I
they
like
call it the refugee team?
Yeah, I saw it whenever they did the boat parade, and they were doing, and they had the refugee team, and there was people from I'm just going to make up Algeria, and then there was
Right.
people from here, and
So do the other refugees, you cheer for the refugee team if you don't have a country?
I guess.
All right.
You don't have to live like a refugee. That's what I hear.
I have to tell you, I saw a lady from China. She's like 58. She used to play ping pong competitively or table tennis.
Table tennis. Racist.
And then she, that's what
Even the way she said it, she goes ping pong.
Yeah.
All right.
But she played for like 20 years and then stopped. And then during the pandemic, she bought herself a table and started playing again. And this is her first Olympics at 58. I have to tell you, I want to start training in a sport and try to make an Olympic team.
Well, so especially something like that where, you know,
It
it's
doesn't matter
not,
about age.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that it does a little bit, but not as much as it would for something where you're running a lot more and doing stuff, whatever. But
So I talked to a couple of people, and when they built the ice rink in Wesley Chapel, they built a curling rink, and I thought we could be the Olympic curling team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
easily.
The
Let's
one problem
practice.
is I don't know how to play on
Yeah.
the curl.
Us either, but I'm sure we can
Yeah,
learn.
but I don't know if we're going to go from not knowing how to play to the Olympics.
Yes,
We-
we can, Mike.
They
Yes,
would
we
make
can-
movies about it if they did.
Damn right.
Have you seen our Olympic curling team? It's a bunch of like dads who go golfing
Yeah.
on Saturday and decided, hey, on Sunday, let's go curling instead.
Yeah.
because you have to imagine it's not a group of people that have been curling since
Yeah.
they were 4.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I just want to be the guy that sweeps the floor.
Me too.
I go to that top shelf bar right there at the ice rink. And
Yeah.
I watch the curling all the time.
You go to
Yeah.
that top shelf bar and your kids don't even play ice sports.
Oh yeah, all the time. Oh, that's a great spot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't, but here's my number one problem. I would love to go somewhere and just drink a couple of beers and get loaded on the weeknight or
Yeah.
whatever. Then how do you get home?
Well, no, you
Calls
just-
his wife,
Yeah,
she
get a-
comes
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
my
just saying
son
like,
picked me
I
up.
have to think about that.
Yeah.
I have to
You have
think
your
about how
son
to get
pick
home.
you up? Isn't
Yeah.
that embarrassing? Isn't he
No.
like, ugh, I'm going to pick up my drunk
No.
dad?
It's better than him driving.
Yeah.
You get in the car and you're like, "There's my son. Hello, son."
I'm
Just-
not getting like blasted hammered, you know.
Yeah. Stop at the
I-
Mickey D's. We're getting shakes.
You stop off, you have like 2 beers, you know.
2 beers.
I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just roll. You'll be like driving. You're like, I'm gonna roll into this place and have a couple of beers.
Oh, of course.
I've never done that in my life.
Top shelf, great food, ton of TVs.
Entertainment?
Yeah.
I have
Live
heard the
entertainment?
food there is amazing.
Yeah.
No. The place is great. I've been there a bunch of
Right.
times. I'm not arguing the place. I'm arguing Gio's
I,
alcoholism.
I know you'll find this hard to believe. I've never ice skated there ever, but
I find that hard to believe.
I've been
I
at
would love
Top
to watch
Shelf.
that.
Yeah.
I have only been there while my son was skating.
Yeah.
So the difference is that you have no reason to be there.
I go there and watch football games all
You're
the
an
time.
outsider.
That's so funny.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I'm on day 15 of my soberness. So
Congratulations.
sobriety.
You
Wow.
Don't have a name for it yet.
I do sobriety. I like to call it different things every day.
Soberness.
Yeah, keeps it interesting.
Day 15. You
Yes.
still getting up and walking on that little thing?
I did not get up today, but yes, I do.
It's over.
So, well, no, because today I'm planning on staying home and watching the women's gymnastics finals. So I'm going to walk 2 miles and then do an upper body workout on my little Pilates bar and then walk another 2 miles.
Do you need me to come over and spot you?
No, I think I'll be okay.
It's also Girlfriend's Day, so don't forget maybe Chad can do a lower body workout on you.
Oh.
Police in Nebraska are looking for someone who returned a rental car and forgot something in it. Sometimes you forget something, your phone charger or something like
this is
that.
gonna be bad.
Sometimes you forget 9 pounds of meth.
Jesus. What?
Whoops-a-daisies. Yeah, the local police have some info on who rented the vehicle, but they're also inviting whoever left the meth a chance to own up to it. In a post on social media, you can see on Bone TV there, they say, feel free to stop by the police department and speak to Officer Marquez. He's more than happy to collect your information and take you for a short walk across the street to our beautiful hall of Department of Corrections. There's also all the drugs laying on the front of the car there on the hood.
9 pounds.
9 pounds
That
of
sounds
meth.
like way too much meth to have.
That's a lot of meth. I mean,
Like
look at
that
that.
is that. What are you going to do with all that meth?
Well, I mean, obviously you're selling it.
Selling it.
It's not like personal use.
I mean, that's a lot.
well, they do that a lot whenever they're muling stuff. They'll rent a car, you know.
Too much meth.
Police say that happens so much that so many times the people that are, transporting drugs and stuff get pulled over for something so simple as not using a turn signal
God. Or
or
a
going
light
over.
being out.
Yeah, just something, whatever. And a lot of times they'll just pull over like rental cars. They'll make something up. Be like, hey, let's check this out and see what's going on.
I'd be the worst mule. As soon as I got pulled over, I'd be like, "There's meth in the back." I'm
Just
sorry.
sweating.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Don't tell my mom.
I
This
always
is
carry peanut brittle and I offer it to the police.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
What?
That's from the mule.
Him and Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
This is crazy, but we've heard crazy stuff like this before. A woman fell victim to a bizarre scam in Ohio. The fraudsters convinced her to send them $6,000 over the phone and had her stripped down on FaceTime.
Who's falling for this?
But we've heard about that. Remember the whole McDonald's thing? And they made the manager strip search the girl and do the whole thing. And it was all just over the phone. Yeah, so she was told she needed to do a full body scan to verify her identity. Get naked so we can tell that you're really Mrs. Smith. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. Here is Cheryl Harris. She's the director of Cuyahoga County Department of Consumer Affairs talking about the scam. Take a listen.
Even if you get a text, phone call, it doesn't matter. Just hang up the phone and think about how you could independently verify what they're saying. When we're panicked, we're not able to focus on that part of our brain that gives us real information or helps us think rationally. It's almost like money laundering in a weird way, but it's like they want you to take your cash from the bank, and then they want you to put it in this, and then they want you to transfer it to that, or take cash and put it into a crypto, ATM. It gets real convoluted.
So I guess they had her go to an ATM with her phone in her Apple Card on her phone and put the money in through there.
Come on, you're just an idiot at this point. I know, but
yes, you are.
Look, I don't know. I got a text yesterday. I get them every day, but I got one yesterday, and the girl said, "Hey, are we still meeting up today?" And I went, "Oh, did we have plans?" And I forgot. Oh, and then oh my God, I meant to send this to somebody else. I sent it to you.
But you seem nice.
May we be friends anyway?
Yeah.
And I said, sure. And she said, my name is Sonia. What is yours? And I said, Othello. And she said, so nice to meet you, Othello. And I go, do you do butt stuff? And she wrote back, no, but and then gave me some, like, and there was no end game. She didn't ask me for WhatsApp or nothing. She just kept talking to me. Finally, I was like, a block.
Yeah, usually they try to get you to go to Telegram.
Yeah.
Which I guess it must be easier to get stuff out of you
untraceable.
or something, I get those all the time.
They didn't ask me for anything. We went on to the point where I got bored of our conversation.
Dude, some go on for days.
Yeah.
They're relentless.
Yeah.
Like, I understand old people can get tricked and, something like that, whatever. Yeah, but if you're a normal human that's between 30 and 50 and you're just like, well, I guess I got to take my clothes off and send you $6,000. It's like, I don't know how those people have $6,000.
Yeah, it's wild.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it really is sad how people are falling for this stuff. The one that my wife got where they wanted her to where they said that she was going to go to jail because she missed court or something. That's one of those things where you're like, well, I don't want to go to jail, even if you know you're going to get out right away. It's a mistake or whatever. You don't want to go to jail, so you start panicking. The panic is what they're counting on. So
yeah, and that's what the lady said. Is once you're in that state, you don't really realize what the hell is happening.
I have gotten calls from American Express before that come up on my phone, American Express, and they're like, "Hey, we're calling from American Express, fraud detection. We need your Social Security number." And I go, "Nope."
Yeah.
I go, "I'll call you back." And they're like, "Well, it's American Express." I go, "I get it, but I don't know that. My phone has told me a lot of people, and I'll call them back." Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah. And the lady also said another thing. She said, your bank will not FaceTime you. Just so you know, your bank is not going to FaceTime you. You guys probably already know because Big Mouth told you today is National Girlfriend Day.
No.
What do you get your girlfriend today, Galvin?
I don't have a girlfriend.
I almost got you.
No,
not even under oath.
My boyfriend's not getting it.
No.
It's not boyfriend day.
Gio, be excited to know, I believe, maybe Spanish as well, because I think
girlfriend?
No. It is also IPA Day.
Hey,
how about that?
Let's stop off after the show.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Top shelf.
Nope. I don't have anything in my body that makes me want to go have 2 beers somewhere. I'm either going out and getting drunk or I'm not drinking anything.
It's
nice.
It's fun, camaraderie.
Yeah.
Chop it up with the guys.
Watch.
We could do that with popcorn.
Popcorn too.
That's
I'm with you, Michael. All or nothing.
Yeah, but you're
We
always
know.
all. You're
gas
always
bags.
all though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Just because you go to a bar doesn't mean you get blasted drunk.
Yeah, but I don't see any other reason to go.
You can head right down to Cigar City Brewing right down there.
Yes.
They love the show. They're very excited. They
love Cigar
hooked you
City.
up with the IPA for
Yeah.
That
Mike did not like.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't like it. I just wasn't my kind of thing, I just don't. I have never been I'm going to go down to the bar and have a couple of beers with the guys. Never been that guy, ever.
I love that. So
I'm not
much.
saying it's bad. I've never been that
I
guy.
know it's not.
I
bad.
feel like Gio can't wait to join the local FEW.
Yeah.
VFW. That's what it is. Yeah.
At the hall.
So did you ever, there's a Moose Lodge on 41 over by Land O'Lakes.
They've got karaoke on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And 2-for-1 hot dogs on Thursday.
Yeah, Gio knows.
Oh, let's go.
My brother-in-law was over there one time when we lived there, and he was like, "I'm going to go see what this is all about."
Yeah.
He came back as a Moose Lodge member. Yeah, they just sign up.
Looks like a great time.
Yeah.
It's
Get a
always
hat.
packed.
It'd be different if I went to the Moose Lodge.
I always want to, the place, the White Room that's over there.
Yeah.
I always want. I've
been in there.
I've not gone in there. I always wonder.
It's a little,
Yeah.
it's like a swinger joint with sushi.
Is that what it is?
Sweet.
Because it's
Yeah.
right by Caliente.
Yeah.
I wondered.
What's
When
it
I
called?
lived
The White Room.
When I
Seems
went-
like an odd combination: swingers and sushi.
Yeah.
I went over there when we did afternoons one time, and Joey was little, and I'd come home from work and everybody be sleeping already, at 8:00 because Joey was a baby. So I went to the White Room one time for dinner, and I just felt really weird. There was
Yeah.
a good band playing.
It's always packed, but I wonder
Yeah.
what's really going on.
It's the size
in there?
of this room too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a little where all the swingers meet up.
All right.
Well, that's not a bad thing either.
No.
I'd much rather do that than sit around with you and your friends drinking beer at the ice skate rink.
Real quick, is that a Dana Carvey character? Doesn't that look like that guy's fake? Like that's makeup and a wig and stuff? That's
Turtle.
weird.
But, so I watch Fox News a lot, and my wife doesn't, and she can't believe sometimes. She's like, when Trey Gowdy's on, and he's got that little white thing on the top of his hair.
Dude, that-
she's like, these people aren't real.
That guy looks like he is a mouse that came to life.
Yeah.
Like that is the weirdest looking guy I've ever seen in my life. Like if you told me he was in a fire, I'd go, oh, okay, well that makes sense that he was in a fire or something happened to him.
Yeah.
According to a survey, 62% of people are overwhelmed with access to screens and are worried about managing too many passwords, accounts, and different
That's
logins. Yeah, there's a lot, man. 85% of people think it's worth it to some degree because they believe they're more secure, and 64% feel confident in their cybersecurity knowledge, but over half admit to sharing their password with others. 40% admit to reusing passwords, 24% write their passwords down, and 19% keep them listed in a file on their computer or in their notes app. The most commonly shared passwords are for streaming services, but other commonly shared passwords are for shopping accounts, personal emails, social media, work and school emails, and work productivity platforms.
This is something you'll hear in my house a lot. Juliana, what did you change the goddamn Apple password to? I mean, if she doesn't know it, she just changes it.
No,
and now I got to do RizGliz42 to get all my stuff working.
Aren't you amazed whenever you figure out a password, like you haven't used it forever and you put in a password and it works and you're like, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I have this computer that's here, not the Mac. The other one was Amanda's computer. And when I fired it up, it's like password. You need your password for this. I guessed every one of her passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know what she uses.
I hate
and
Mike.
I love black guys.
I got to tell you something that we've talked about before, and I've had people reach out on social media about this, that they've done it as well. And my wife is not impressed enough, and I need you guys to be impressed.
Okay.
I will have a load of laundry that I take out, and I just randomly grab hangers into the exact hanger of how many shirts I have.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is
That's
pretty
impressive.
Like, seriously,
I was
9 out of
impressed
10
when you said
times.
you were doing laundry. That really got me.
9 out of 10 times. And I did it last night, and I go, I'm not even kidding. I go, Jenny, look. And I take the last T-shirt, and I put it on the hanger, and I go, last one. And she goes, yeah. And I go, no. More excited. I go, something. Give me something. This is unbelievable. Every time.
What was it I did? I did something similar to that where my medicine, my blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
So I have a weeks long thing that I put them in every night. Like once a week, and I would pour them into my hand and pour out exactly the amount I need. That's a skill, man.
It is something.
That's a skill.
Something, man.
I gotta tell you, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah. I wish they had the Olympics for that.
We should open a laundromat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at the
Where you take pills.
I looked at the refugee team.
Yeah?
Team. Yeah, there's a bunch of refugees on it.
Yeah. You think I was making it up?
No, I just don't understand. Like,
By the way, still a lot of controversy about the weather, about the percentage and all that stuff. A lot of people are emailing me and sending me all these different articles that they're saying, listen, a lot of people are confused. They say it's two different ways.
well,
but
let me clarify.
saying that I was right.
Chief meteorologist for 30 years, Paul Delgado said I was right.
Yeah, Forbes has an article about all these meteorologists that disagree.
Forbes,
and even Delgado
money.
said there was a controversy about it.
Forbes money, Paul Delgado weather.
They do
Love
more
the
than money.
game, yeah.
They do more than money.
Osterberg too backed it up.
He didn't even know he was talking about. I don't.
Yeah.
Even I
He
think
put it
that.
in writing.
I think that was actually Ostenberg. That's a different guy.
It was actually an ostrich.
Yeah.
Yum Brands said hundreds of Taco Bell locations in the U.S. will use artificial intelligence in drive-through lanes by the end of 2024. Yeah.
Love it.
Restaurant
Okay.
companies such as Wendy's and White Castle have been slowly implementing the tech into reducing their labor costs and improve speed of service. Yum Brands hopes to roll out voice AI in its drive-through lanes globally in the future.
Wonderful.
You say wonderful until they make you scan your finger to see if you're too fat to eat there
Yeah.
anymore.
No, they give
I'm sorry,
suggestions.
Gio, but you've been here too long.
You have to get a salad today.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would get the double. It's only a single for you.
that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Or they go, 3 visits today, Gio? I don't think so.
Welcome back, Gio. We missed you.
The one at Wendy's works fantastic. It's great. It is fantastic.
You don't have to talk to stupid, ignorant Wendy's employees.
Gio's going to be pulling the Kevin James from King of Queens where he takes an order and then they go, anything else? And he goes, yeah, what'd you want? Pretending like other people are in his car. I mean, like 3 more burgers, I guess, would be fine.
I when I ever get a cake pop for Juliana at Starbucks, I'll go, a coffee and a cake pop, and they go, just 1 cake pop, and I go, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why would why are you looking at me like
You know.
you don't want 4 cake pops? Stupid.
You're saying 1?
1.
By the way, that leads me right into my next story. We talked about it yesterday about the pumpkin spice coming back and all that stuff for Starbucks. Well, Starbucks fall lineup is out.
Oh,
we got it. We know what's going on. So they have the pumpkin cold brew. They have an iced pumpkin cream chai. They have a new iced apple crisp cream chai,
Okay.
which is a non-dairy option. There's also oat milk iced apple crisp shaken espresso. Wow, big
That's a
names.
lot. That's a
and
lot.
the oat milk apple crisp macchiato drinks for those looking for something new. As for food, for the new fall lineup at Starbucks, you can expect the pumpkin cream cheese muffin,
Okay, I've had that.
a baked apple croissant,
Oh,
and an all-new raccoon cake pop. What?
Oh, no.
Not made with actual raccoon.
wow.
Come on.
But they don't say what it is. They're
it
not
just
telling
looks
you-
like a little
Like-
raccoon.
Oh, is that what it is?
head. Yeah.
Well, they don't tell you what's in it, whatever. But the drinks and food are expected to drop on August 22nd. Starbucks dropped its pumpkin spice latte on August 24th last year, so 2
Bumping
days
it up.
ago. Yeah,
Bumping
August
it up.
22nd, you can get all the different pumpkin stuff.
Yeah, the oat milk, not good.
No?
You don't like it?
No,
Those oat milk
Unless you
drinks?
get a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso.
yeah, that
is
is-
good.
I got oat milk before, and it had a very weird taste to it.
Yeah. Tastes like oats.
Yeah.
Raccoon pop.
Yeah, I'm in.
Raccoon cake pop.
Yeah,
They're
trash panda
adorable.
pop.
Looks like a little raccoon head.
All right. Enjoy, everybody.
Bite its face.
How about this? With everything going on with, Robert Downey Jr., going to be Dr. Doom, and all the different things happening at Comic-Con, this also happened at Comic-Con. An anti-human trafficking sting operation at the San Diego Comic-Con resulted in 14 arrests.
Oh, my
10
at
victims.
Comic-Con.
10 victims were also recovered. 9 were adults, and the 10th was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Are they all dressed up as they make
Right.
them dress up
Yeah.
oh, that's weird.
So you can traffic them through and do all that stuff.
That's why adults are still being trafficked, let alone kids.
Yeah.
All across the country.
Well,
which is
adults
wild.
can still be tricked to take their clothes off over the phone. So
Right.
Yeah, it's wild.
Never know.
How are they trapping them though? Like just
cages.
grab them off the street, or you
Well,
trick somebody to come to a hotel room? Or?
Have you seen videos where they're like literally just eating at a cafe on the street, whatever, and just some van pulls up and they try and take the kid? Like there's been ones where they
Right.
fight off, but there's other times where they just take the kid.
Jeez.
And then you go, yeah, a van came. I don't know how to describe it, no tag on it or anything.
That is scary.
Now think if you're like if that's your business is trafficking of people, and you live in this country and you have hundreds of thousands of immigrants to choose from that don't have any records. There's no way to keep
Yeah.
track of them.
Yeah.
It's
I know where to get my kid. Like if you're trying to get my kid, get it while we're at the trampoline place.
Okay.
Because most likely I'm falling asleep in that. I sit on that couch. They got all these comfortable couches around there, and I'm on my phone on the couch. I don't know what's going on. You go swipe one of those
Yeah.
kids, and they don't have it like Chuck E. Cheese where you gotta
Check
show the
in,
wristband to get in and out. They just let you
The
go.
number,
Which, by the way, they didn't even start doing until like the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, Chuck E. Cheese was like losing kids left and right. And then they're like, I don't know, maybe we do something where.
Stop them at the door.
Yeah. We have to make sure that their parents with them or something.
That was one of the jobs that I had when I worked
Stealing
at Chuck E.
kids?
No.
Oh.
When I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, I had to check because they do it by like numbers. You have like matching numbers.
Yeah.
That's like the black light. So I would have to check the numbers or like stamp the numbers.
Even
you know
that's
what I
not
mean?
good because I took Jake out one time and and I wasn't matched with him.
Which,
Yeah,
by
you
the
can-
way, seems great that they have a high school age kid doing
Yeah.
that stuff, Carmen. You know,
I had just graduated.
Wow.
But still, yeah. I mean, I did everything. But
Did you
yeah.
ever wear the Chuck E. suit?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
really?
I have a traumatizing story. I've told this before. Yeah, I had to be Chucky. That was like part of being like a rookie, you know, one of the newbies. And you're not allowed to touch the kids. You're not allowed to like hold a baby because some parents will want you to hold their baby for a picture.
Yeah.
And if that happens, you have to sit down, crisscross applesauce your legs, and then the parents have to like put the baby down. And there's like all these rules you have to follow.
All right, did you ever do any dirty stuff while you were in there?
yeah.
No.
Like sucky cheese?
No. Ew. No, but these two kids attacked me because I was leaving because a lot of kids were crying. They didn't like they were just really young and they started crying when I
Yeah.
came out in the costume. So
Chucky's horrifying.
so if that happens, then you just basically go back to the closet, take off the costume, and all these kids were crying. So I'm headed back to the closet, and these two kids are like, "No, Chucky, don't leave." One jumps on my back, puts me in a headlock, and the other grabs my leg and then starts kicking my ankle.
Wow.
And I just had to take there and like stand there and take it because I'm not allowed to touch the kids, and I didn't want to lose my job. So basically, these two 10-year-olds beat me up.
And you probably can't see in the mask.
You can't see, and I'm just
Hot.
like, and I just have to stand there, like, and try not to fall on these kids. Meanwhile, 10 other kids are just crying, like, Chucky, get away!
It'd have been a lot easier for you to be sucky cheese.
Dude, it was the worst. But then after that, I told Mandra, I was like, never again. I will hit a child if you put me back in that costume.
how bad did that suit smell with her in
Oh,
there?
it was.
You taco pits?
Oh, poof.
Well, not just because we all shared it. It was one costume that it rotated. Whoever
Pass.
was there. Yeah, it was gross. That was the worst job I ever had.
I
for
used
sure.
to have to dress up as the Hamburglar when I worked at McDonald's.
Are you
in high school.
serious?
Yeah.
Did you have to, or did
No,
you want
it
to,
was-
so you could steal hamburgers?
It was the same thing. Like when you were when you first start there, like you got picked to like because they'd have back then they would have birthday parties at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like they would
Yeah.
schedule birthday parties there, and you had to dress up as the Hamburglar.
Is that the burger guy origin story?
Yeah. They're like, he doesn't work here. He doesn't work here. And he's just going by stealing people's burgers.
But I remember the kids would try and like hang on you and stuff, and it was not.
I feel
fun.
bad. I mean, thank God I never worked at fast food because they would have been like, yo, Calta, time to grimace it up.
Shut up.
Carrie Underwood is returning to her roots. The former American Idol winner will join the singing competition as a judge in the new season. The Grammy-winning country superstar will join ABC's Idol as the replacement for Katy Perry.
Who
So
else
Katy
is on
Perry's
that show? That Lionel Richie still?
Lionel Richie was,
Luke
Luke
Bryan.
Bryan was, and Katy Perry. I think those were the three. So now it's going to be Carrie Underwood in there instead of Katy Perry.
I find myself watching Name That Tune every once in a while.
Oh,
and, I think it's better for Randy Jackson to be fat than to look like he looks like now. He's got Ozempic face and surgery body.
Him and Roker.
Roker looks way better.
Yeah.
Roker looks way better. It's like Randy looks like he's dying. I'm not saying he is. That's what he looks like.
What is he, the band leader on there?
Yeah, they're like, I can name it in 3 notes, and he plays the 3 notes.
Oh.
No, it's really weird because it's so awkward. The guy's like, I can name it in 1 note. Well, but it's because they gave you a hint, and you know that this song is a celebration song for the Wizard of Oz. The guy's like, Ding Dong, the Witch is dead. I can name it in 1 note. It's so dumb.
Yeah, that does sound really stupid.
Pete Davidson recently checked into a wellness facility for mental health treatment. The comic, I use that quotes, comic had shows here in Florida and New Jersey scheduled, but both are canceled now. So if you had tickets to go see Pete Davidson, not going to happen. Davidson underwent treatment last summer to address his post-traumatic stress disorder and borderline personality disorder.
What does he have post-traumatic stress disorder from?
Got to be his losing his father, I imagine, with all that.
I don't know.
That was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
I think it's from losing to Ariana Grande.
No. That would do it.
That was that. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine that, but
That would do it. The U.S. Army wants to recoup millions of dollars from The Rock in his United Football League over a recruitment campaign with the league that was basically a complete bust. So now they're like,
But that's not there. That's a gamble you put out there.
I don't know. They're trying to get it back.
No. Yeah, that's nonsense.
The Rock was
you
like,
paid for it.
I spent all that money in Hawaii. I bought a bunch of houses and stuff. Kevin Costner's Western epic Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 2, has confirmed a new premiere date after the sequel's original August release plans were canceled. Horizon Chapter 2 release was originally set for August 16th before the poor performance of Chapter 1 at the box office led to being pulled from its initial release date. The initial installment in the planned 4-part saga earned only $33.2 million at the box office against a $50 million budget, making it a financial flop. So Horizon America Saga Chapter 2 will debut at the Venice Film Festival on September 7th after the movie was pulled from its initial August 16th theatrical release date. So now I guess it's just going straight to video.
I don't know. When do we get to see it? I mean, we are invested in it.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know, but I figure I sat through all the setup of the first one.
Right.
You know?
Now you see all the actions happen when Giovanni Ribisi gets in there. That's
Yeah,
when
but if
they get good.
it's on demand or whatever, I'll watch it at my leisure. I don't have to go to the
I
thing.
get that, yeah.
Just be like,
I would do that.
And if I'm, a half hour in and I don't like it, I go, nope, and I turn it off.
So when I'm rotating through the Godfathers, when it's on Godfather 3, that's when I'll watch Horizon 2. That's my math.
I would go see it in IMAX because it looks gorgeous and I enjoy all that scenery. But
yeah, I could see it on a small screen. I don't
Yeah.
care. That doesn't do anything for me.
This is, who knows whether this is true or not, but this is what the story is. A lot of celebrities do, different side hustles before they become celebrities and stuff. Tiffany Haddish said that she had one. She used to sell her used panties on Craigslist.
Oh, imagine you had those now.
But under a different name. She called herself Rosalinda and claimed that she was the maid for Halle Berry.
Oh, is she saying she was stealing Halle Berry's underwear?
So she pretended like she was the maid, and these are Halle Berry's underwear, and you can buy them $300 a pair.
Oh, shut up. I would pay that.
People would buy
For
the
Halle
underwear
Berry's.
for her panties, her
But
used
if I found out
panties
I
and
was
stuff.
sniffing Tiffany Haddish, I'd be very upset.
Well,
be-
just so
yeah.
you know, the majority of panties that you're getting are either worn by a dog.
oh,
Or a
Seriously.
dude, yeah.
Or
Really?
a dude. Oh, yeah. Girls talk about it all the time. They're like, yeah, I'm not wearing the panties. I just put them on my dog, let him run around, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, idiot.
I want my money back.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Listen, although I think if you're buying used panties, you're like, I don't care.
You're already
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
Carmen, didn't you sell socks?
I sold a pair of tennis shoes
Oh.
one time.
Did somebody who wanted your shoes or somebody wanted to smell them?
Someone who wanted my shoes, but no, like smell my shoes. It was a guy who wanted my shoes, and I just charged for a new pair of shoes, basically.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's great for you.
Yeah,
I
mean,
wish somebody wanted to buy my underwear. I'd sell them all.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people. Can I buy some underwear? Can I buy some socks? Can I buy this? I just feel I can't do it. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
like,
because you got all those stains in yours.
I mean, everybody's got a price, though.
I can imagine Carmen's got skid marks galore.
Oh.
Man.
What is wrong with you?
I just know you.
No, you don't. Clearly, if anyone has skid marks, it's your Geo.
Well,
Why?
Why?
I'll show you my underwear whenever you want to see them.
You can't reach back there.
Oh!
Yeah, you want to be rude. I can be rude.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, see, I don't like it either.
How does toilet guy not get, skid marks?
because I clean efficiently, both sitting normally.
he takes 20
and-
minutes.
Okay, you can yell
all
at
right.
me.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a fair point.
yeah.
Look
Maybe
here,
if he got
sucky
back
cheese.
in time,
Yeah.
I would think he had skid marks. But the fact that he's always gone for 20 minutes.
I have
I
a
like to
toilet
clean.
that spends a half hour just cleaning my butt when I'm done.
Yeah, it's nice and it's warm.
Prove
Kermit's
it.
yeah. Hey, look, don't make your advances at me on the show. Prove it. You prove it. I'll prove it to you.
Finally in news, BuzzFeed put together a list of random pop culture facts from the 90s that you may not know. Did you know what Tickle Me Elmo was almost called? It was called something else. Tickle Me Elmo was almost called...
Tickle me, Edward.
No.
I've heard this before.
It is Tickle Me Something, though. Tickle Me Elmo was almost Tickle Me
Tickle Me, Roger.
Roger. Don't say it that way.
Was it Tickle Me Silly?
Tickle me, Roger.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tickle Me. It was something Elmo.
No, it was not
No?
Elmo. It was Tickle.
Lickle me, Elmo.
It was Tickle Me Elmo was almost called Tickle Me Taz. As in Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes. The company made it, didn't initially have the rights to use Elmo, but they eventually got them, so then they called it Tickle Me
Got it.
Elmo.
Okay.
That Tickle Me Elmo, that was crazy.
Was-
People
yeah,
were going
everybody
nuts
wanted it.
for that.
Wild, yeah. The Spice Girls didn't come up with their nicknames. A UK magazine editor did because they were too lazy to remember their real names. They're like, I don't know, call that one Sporty and
Hell yeah.
this one
Scary.
Ginger. Yeah.
That's kind of how I know everybody in the building.
Rude.
Baby Spice.
Oh yeah. We know all the nicknames. Yeah.
Guy who looks like he should be English.
Yeah. George Washington.
George Washington.
Mr. Pants.
Yeah.
Shoulders. Yeah. All the different. I love Shoulders.
I love
She's not there
Pants.
anymore though.
No.
Shoulders.
Pants was the best.
Yeah.
Head, knees, and toes are all in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wild. The original, I don't know what this is. Maybe Spanish and Carmen, you guys know more 90s stuff. Polly Pockets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what Polly Pocket?
Yes.
What is
They were like little
Dolls.
Yeah, but they also had. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were like tiny handheld things you could open and play with a little.
Yeah,
miniature.
they came in like almost they almost like came in like an egg looking
Yeah.
thing, but they were like a doll. that
Well,
you
so
could
they
take out.
they say the original Polly Pockets were tiny because the creator used a makeup powder compact to make a portable dollhouse
Yeah.
for his daughter.
Yeah.
And then they made it into whatever it was.
So I never had the Polly Pocket, but I had the.
Well, I would hope not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I forget the male.
made-
Johnny
Why?
Quest was
They
the
made
male
a boy
equivalent.
version that
Yeah.
was like little dinosaurs or something.
Yeah.
I
Johnny
remember.
Quest.
Yeah.
Johnny Quest was
TV show.
yeah.
Yeah. They had a TV show, a cartoon, and then they had like the little Polly
Toy.
Pocket, but of Johnny Quest.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So what were they going to call it?
No. That's why it was so tiny.
Oh,
That's-
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
And then this one, Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis, we actually knew this one, I think, if you watch the movies that made us, used their own money to shoot 2 scenes in Forrest Gump because Paramount refused to increase the budget. One of the scenes was Forrest running across the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, hey, we need this. And they were like, all right, we'll put up our own money and do it then.
That's
and, then probably got a huge back end of it.
That's another one of those movies I'll always watch, no matter what point of the movie it is.
Yeah.
When it's
No,
on.
I'm done with it.
No?
I've seen it enough.
Really?
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad movie, great movie, but I've just seen it too many times. I'm done with it now. Yeah. Same thing with Castaway. I get it. Volleyball.
You just don't like Tom Hanks
No,
anymore.
I love Tom Hanks. I'll watch that thing you do. I'll watch plenty of his other movies.
I haven't watched that a lot.
Yeah, but I am I am over Forrest Gump. There's no part, especially when Jenny is with the black military group. It makes me very depressed.
Yeah, that's a sad part.
Yeah.
I still love the meme where it's like, thanks, Jenny, for coming back
Yeah.
when you had AIDS.
Yeah. I still love that scene when it's New Year's and Lieutenant Dan and they're at the strip club and he's just sitting there all sad and the confetti's falling on him.
That's you in love, Tiger. If you're in a different situation.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Did Forrest Gump win Best Picture?
I think
Or
so.
was it up for Best Picture?
Tom won Best Actor. I know that.
Academy Award Best Picture 1994. Best Actor Tom Hanks, Best Director Robert Zemeckis, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Visual, Best Film Editing, all that stuff. But I was looking 1994 Best Academy Award for Best Picture. The nominees were The Fugitive, Schindler's List, The Piano, and The Name of the Father. So a lot of good
All
ones
good
there.
movies. Yeah.
Who wasn't Forrest Gump and Shawshank Redemption and something else like Pulp Fiction or something? I think they were all in the same year.
I'm seeing Forrest Gump won Best Picture in 95.
95.
Yeah,
Okay.
Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay.
But now, if you saw the movies that made us, that will show you that the best adapted screenplay is the one of the most important because they turn that complete story into something different.
So 95, the nominees for Best Picture were Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Quiz Show, and 4 Weddings and a
Even
Funeral.
Quiz Show and 4 Weddings and a Funeral is a
They're
great
all
movie
great.
too.
Those
Yeah.
are like great movies. Now, Best Picture, you're like, what is this? Did
Yeah.
anybody see this? Who knows what that is?
They got Best Visual Effects, Best Film Editing, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Makeup,
Jeez.
Sound Mixing, Production Design, and sound editing. So
That was a win.
yeah.
Another one, stuff from the 90s. The lyrics, Hit Me Baby One More Time from Britney Spears' Baby One More Time were a mistake. The Swedish songwriters thought the word hit was a slang for call me on the phone.
Oh, hit me up.
I guess, yeah. So Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Not
was that.
hit me.
Oh.
Not punch me.
Oh.
Oh, I'd like to smack Britney Spears right in her fat bottom.
Oh my God.
Director James Cameron wanted to make Jurassic Park before Steven Spielberg beat him to the film's rights. He envisioned it being darker and nastier, like Aliens with dinosaurs.
Yeah,
all right.
That would have been cool.
So awesome.
Yeah, that would have been interesting for sure. What about what did they want to call iMac before they called it iMac? Steve Jobs wanted to call iMac something else.
I couldn't even guess. He had so many weird. He named one thing Jenny, and then one, he was nuts.
Steve Jobs wanted the iMac to be called MacMan.
Mac is way better.
Spanish, you love this. RuPaul.
Yeah.
You love RuPaul.
Used to be a man.
I did.
RuPaul apparently had an unexpected friendship with a band. Any guesses on what band? They met at the 1993 MTV VMAs and had a friendship.
What
with
year?
1993.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Nope.
Green Day.
No.
Nirvana.
Nirvana, Carmen.
Oh.
You're right. Nirvana.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you
that's
say
it.
90s, that's the first band I always think of.
That's the first band you should think of.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. And then finally, this one, George Lucas asked Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard, and Robert Zemeckis all to direct individually to direct Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. They all said no because they felt like Lucas needed to do it. Yeah, like you do it.
Yeah.
It's your thing, you know.
I kind of wish he wouldn't have, though.
Well.
Why?
I thought the Solo movie that Ron Howard did, I thought that was great.
It was
that was
fantastic.
really good,
Yeah. I wish they would do more of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I don't think George Lucas was a very good director, Carmen. He doesn't really
He's
get
a
like very
producer.
good performances out of the
He's
actors.
a producer. He puts the movie together. It's really
Yeah.
what the truth is. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a bunch of stuff from the 90s you may or may not have known.
Moose and I in the 90s at the Rocket Club. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah? Oh,
not.
no, we heard.
That's what I think about with the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That is it for news.
All right, Galvin, thank you. We must take a quick break. When we come back, we'll check in with Cody Tucker. And then Frank Caliendo will be here. Then Martine Gramatica is going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. I would say you're probably one of our oldest friends of the show. Frank Caliendo is here with us.
I thought you were going to say favorites.
No. No, seriously, you're definitely one of our favorites. But I mean, somebody that's been consistently coming on this show over the years.
This is one of the shows. I hate to cut you off on your show, this is one of the shows that I would come in for. Well, I did. I came in early for the show, not just because I want to sell the Friday late tickets too. That's a big part of it. But you're one of the shows you can come in maybe 5 shows in the entire country. If that, where you can just come, hang out, do your stuff, sell tickets, whatever you need to do. But I would just come in, even if I was sold out, I would come in and do the show.
Not only that, but here's what you get. You get extra points too. You put an ISDN line in your house before nobody had Zoom at the time and all that, and you were doing crystal clear connections from your house.
Right now, I have the Comrex,
which
is how probably everybody connects to stations.
You know what the Comrex means to me? It's a piece of equipment that I bring with me on the road when I say I'm going to New York this week, but I'm going to do the show from my hotel room, and I just don't do it. I just call it, it's not working.
His Comrex has some nice vacations.
Yeah. I mean, it never works for me. We went away one time just to the beach in Sarasota for a week, and I said, but I'll do the show because I rented like a little cottage. I'm like, I'll dial in and do it from there with you guys. First hour, bad connections, and I'm like, I'm just not doing it. I just quit for the week right away. It just stinks. But I remember back in the day, we'd connect with you on the ISDN line, and it was crystal clear. It was perfect. And I hate doing phoners or any of that stuff, but that was different. That felt like you were here.
Yeah, there was the only difference is you don't get the eye contact. And when I do that with people now, I'll Zoom the video and then do the Comrex because that does sound like you're in the studio.
You care way more than most people.
I do voices too. So and sometimes the phone can actually hide it and make a voice better because it does that. It scrambles it just enough to what does that person actually sound like on the phone, and you wouldn't know, so your brain gets tricked a little bit.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
There is that element of the clear sound and sounding like I think people when you sound like you're in studio, and I am in studio right now. I don't want to make sense. Like, I don't want to, but when you're in studio, people feel you're local, and if you're trying to, sell something or whatever, it works better, I think.
It has been a little while since I saw you, but you look so skinny. You look great.
Is skinny the word? Just not as fat.
No, skinny. I would say you look skinny now. Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah.
My face is I still can't get my face thinner.
You're never going to lose. Your neck, it's not your face, it's your neck.
It's my neck.
Your neck is skinny. Your chubby cheeks, you're just going to have
there's still that.
It's
fun. When you see it on video, though, too, it's like it all mashes up into like a bulldog kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I look fatter on screen than I do, and I'm like, I worked this hard to lose all this weight.
Yes.
And I'm still I'm 5'6". People think I'm going to be 6'3".
Right.
When I meet them, so then they meet me, they're already disappointed, and then they're like
tiny and skinny.
Yeah.
Do you know the Yankee pitcher David Wells used to play for?
Yeah.
So he's a good friend of mine, and he always used to get a hard time for being a fat guy. I've seen Wells almost 90% naked, and he's not fat at all. He wore a big loose uniform, and he was a big guy, and he liked to have a size like 2 sizes big on his uniform, so he got a reputation for being a fat guy. But he's not fat.
I would have said he was. I would have thought he was fatter.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, you still playing table tennis?
Yeah.
How are we ranked? How are we doing?
Same. I don't play in any tournaments.
No.
No, because I hate being beat by 15, 13, 12-year-old girls. I mean, it just get destroyed. And then their dad wants to take a picture with me because the dad heard who I was. They don't even know who I am.
Right. Do you find that's a good life for you? Like, because you got you seem like very like normal guy.
I think I'm fairly
you've
normal.
done a lot of famous stuff, but you're still pretty normal guy.
I appreciate that. I don't know. I think you live your life pretty normally, don't you? I mean, you take advantage of certain things.
Yeah.
I take advantage of things when I can.
Yes.
But I try not to push it. But at the same time, I'm known just enough where people will give me stuff.
Yeah.
Like
you get free stuff.
That's always a key. I had a friend who played in the minor leagues years ago. I used to work in indoor baseball, softball batting cage, and he played in the minor leagues. And people would just give him stuff because he played in the minor leagues, and that was like my introduction to that. Like, if you have any level of fame, people want to be a little piece of that.
Yes.
Even though it was a AA minor league player,
still,
they're like, that's better than most. People want a little piece of that. So
I carry the guilt of when people give me stuff. I feel like this is not going to pay off for you.
I know. I tell them I'm not going to give you anything.
I feel like people are like, here's my shirt. I'm like, first of all, that shirt's not going to fit me. Second of all, I don't even like it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it ends up at Goodwill or something like that a lot of the time.
I feel terrible.
Everybody wants to give me gear. I got gear for you.
Gear, yeah.
Maybe I'll give off from a Morgan Freeman voicemail or something. And that's when they realized they just called Mike Calta's house. Those kind of things.
We still battle with our Morgan Freemans trying to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So every once in a while I'll watch Shawshank and I'll be like, and it was my friend. And my wife, and I go, listen, come here, I got it. And I was wondering, and she's like, "Ooh, Forrest Gump, you nailed it."
It is so. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Have you worked on anything? I'm sure you have, but what new that you do?
Yeah, there's always stuff that I've been.
I mean, I love your Instagram videos. The videos you do where you say a line as all the different characters.
You really like?
I love those.
See, that's the interesting thing. I don't know if I can never tell because I don't really like anything I do. So I can never tell if it's going to hit or not going to hit.
Here, can I tell you what gets me is that all your impressions are good. So you have Robert Downey Jr. and Morgan Freeman. You'll go, and then when you start getting obscure, and you go and you do Joe Rogan, and you're like, Jamie, pull that up.
Wow, Jamie! Oh my God, that's effing nuts. That's nuts, Jamie, what the F is that?
That makes me laugh so hard because it's just so funny to just out of nowhere.
And it's always because there's only certain things I can say because I don't work on them a ton unless I know what I want to do with them. But it's those they're kind of instructional ones. Those are the ones that people seem to like, where it's talking about using your throat differently. The biggest one I think is the one where I take the Kermit the Frog. Hi, hello, Kermit the Frog here. So that's that nasal kind of voice. And then there's the Fozzie Bear, which is the throat. Waka, waka, waka. And then if you take Fozzie Bear and you bring it down a little bit, or if you take if you take Kermit the Frog and you bring it down a little bit, it becomes John C. Reilly. Did you touch my drum set?
That's so funny.
And then if you put some air in it, becomes Mark Ruffalo. I see this as an absolute win. That kind of thing right there.
That's why I love when you do all the I see, and I don't know, your videos are done very well. You and your daughter were great too.
I would like to get her to do more. She wants to be more behind the scenes.
But she's funny. You can tell she's reluctant to do some of the stuff, and
she's
it's funny.
Very funny.
Yeah.
When we were doing the Grudens,
the Grudens are great.
I tell you what, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man.
Dude, that was good stuff, man. This is Frank Caliendo, by the way. If you just joined, you could watch it, follow it on Instagram, see all his videos. I think they're awesome. This is a weird coincidence that this is like the third time that you've come here, where this weekend I'm going to Disney, where you are the one that elevated my Disney cost from $400 to $4,000.
But it's a much better experience.
It's a much better experience. It is. I'm actually not doing it this time, but it's Frank was the first person to turn me on to using the guide at Disney, and Loomis was your guy,
Sam. Yeah,
and he has been. We used him twice before, and he's been great. But you could see a whole. We went to the Disney Toy Story area the week that it opened, and lines were like 2 hours for each ride, and we saw the whole thing in 24 minutes. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we used to do it, but they changed the price structure of it over the years.
It's insane.
It used to be super, super cheap.
It was affordable. It was never cheap, but it was like I could spend $2,000 on
it's
that.
It was probably closer to what it actually costs now to regularly go.
Yeah.
But back then, the regular ticket prices weren't as high.
Right.
I mean, but that experience, the amount you could get done in a day was worth it as a parent.
Yes.
But we'd be running from ride to ride.
Right.
Like Sam would he'd like, we got to get there. We got to get all this stuff in, because he was trying to make it economical.
Yeah. He would, and you would leave one park and drive to the other park.
In the back
lot. I'll tell you, I was telling them the other day, we got out of the car first on arrival, and there's just people giving us chips and water when we got out. I'm like, we've already won. We've got snacks now, and we've got food. We've already beaten Disney. Yeah, we're going there. I have not been to the Star Wars section of Disney yet, so we're going to look at that this weekend.
Okay.
And I find now with an 18-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter, I'm the only one interested in the Star Wars land.
Yeah, Disney's interesting. I feel like Disney is that for the little kids and parents, and then as they get a little bit older, tweens to teens, then it becomes the Universal type of deal. And then as you get older, and you're a parent, it's that nostalgic Disney thing again.
Yeah, let's go. We've done this when we haven't done this since we were little. Let's go back and do it.
And just to go back and have those memories of your kids liking you, those are the best.
When they needed you.
Yeah, when my wife could tell them what to do and they would pay attention.
Yes. Although I will tell you, Gio and I have the same age son graduated high school this year. And I was saying this on the air the other day. My son and I talk to him, text me every night before I go to bed, good night, or I'll talk to him and he'll text me. Like, we have a great relationship.
My son and I do too.
Yeah.
It's a different relationship.
He's the one I thought I would lose.
Yeah, I'm almost at the point where I want to push my son out a little bit more, but then at the same time, I go, I don't want to lose this, because I don't have that with my dad.
Yeah,
my dad, totally different kind of relationship. So I love the relationship I have with my son, but sometimes I'm like, you need to be out on your own a little bit.
What is your dad like? Stiff guy?
No, just my dad shows up to shows wearing a Frank Caliendo T-shirt, telling everybody he's my dad.
Oh, that's kind of...
Yeah, and doing his Donald Duck voice.
Right. Where do you think he gets it from?
Yeah, 100%. He signs autographs for people, and there's a charm to it when it's only once, but when he comes to 4 shows in a weekend,
right.
Like the club in Milwaukee is literally a mile away from the house I grew up in.
Okay.
He will be there all the shows, signing things for people.
Oh, that's funny.
Selling merch for himself, I think. Frank's dad merch.
Frank's dad merch. He doesn't make his own shirts.
Yeah. I mean, he takes it very seriously. Almost as seriously as he takes his softball.
Did he know? Like, when did you start doing voices? Comedy first or voices first?
It was. I went to school for broadcast journalism,
right?
And at UW,
which, as
Milwaukee.
we all know, is a garbage.
Yeah, well, I just didn't know what to do.
You're right.
So I did that, and then I tried some stand-up, but it was really working the voices in. It was different. When I would watch people do impressions on TV or whatever, it was always this horrific setup. There was no writing involved.
Right.
So what I tried to do is take what was hot at the time, basically the observational type of comedy, and turn that into an impression bit. So my bit would be Al Pacino yells for no reason. So take that truth, and now somebody should cast him as a librarian, just because that's what they would do. So he's just yelling, "Where's the B section?" You know, that type of thing. So it's like, take the reality. Or Pacino, my take on him was always, as an actor, they teach you to be curious and amazed by stuff. You don't know what's coming, so you have to pretend. That's the pretending part. Well, Pacino would take that to another level, where somebody turn on a light switch. Wait a second, you flip a switch over there, and a light goes on over there. This is sorcery. So it was that, and then it would call back to the yelling in it. So there was writing involved,
right.
And that was my real take on it. So that's how I started doing. My first impressions on stage were old school hacky, like a Jack Nicholson. I remember going, "This is gonna be fun." You know, that kind of
everybody
thing.
does.
Yeah, it was a Reverend Jim from Taxi. Boss, but I also added the Tony Danza and "Let can grab it, thank you very much." So I thought, I'm like, at least there's some innovation. And Robin Williams was a big one that I would do. "Oh my God, who knew?" And people are like, "That's the best impression I've ever seen."
When somebody does a bunch of impressions, you can kind of hear the derivative in each one. You don't have that. Each one is so.
Well, some of it, I think I still hear some of it, and when they're newer, I've just done some of those for 20 years, 30 years, and after you do it for a while, you eventually get your voice out of it if you want to. The odd thing is, people will hear other voices in my voice. So people will hear me say something, they're like, "Are you being Paul Giamatti right now?" I'm like, "I don't believe I sound anything like it. Wait a second. Is this Paul Giamatti or Heath Ledger's Joker?"
Who do you walk around the house doing? Like, I know when I get stuck with something, I can't drive my wife nuts.
I don't know if there's anything anymore. If it's new, that would be when the last one I could think of was probably the Robert Downey Jr., because you're just always going to belch out a line, that type of thing. That was, I wasn't even trying to do it there. That was going to be a Seth Rogen. I didn't even know I did it. So those, when they just pop in, but that's kind of what my act has become too, is just that, if I hear something starting, I go with it.
Right.
But as far as walking around as people, I don't think I really...
I drive my wife insane, not with impressions, but just things from the show and all that. Just walk. I saw a Saturday Night Live skit it was very funny. It was with the women, the one with the freckles that came back. Anyway, they were singing. ABBA sings.
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph, yeah. ABBA sings Christmas songs, and basically they took Christmas songs, just sung them to ABBA songs.
Right.
But they had Frosty Tita was their Frosty the Snowman, and they were like, Frosty Tita, ta ta tita ta ta, and I for 2 weeks would walk around the house going tita ta ta, and my wife's like, "Stop!" And I get into one of those things. So I'd imagine if I was you, I'd just be walking around going, "What's for dinner?" It's just stuck in your
Somebody
brain.
pass the butter.
Yeah, I was telling them earlier, I go, when we take a 2-week break at Christmas time, after like the 4th day, she's like, "Please go back to work. Go talk to somebody else." I'm doing the show constantly and walking around my living room. Frank Caliendo is here with us. Frank is going to be at Side Splitters Friday 7:30 and 9:30, and Saturday 7 and 9:30. You want to make reservations because this is shows that sell out. You can go to sidesplitterscomedy.com and pick your seats and do all that, or give them a call 960-1197. If I was not going out of town, I would be coming to those shows. I've seen you several times before. I love it.
You were the first. You're one of the first radio guys I remember coming out to see me at a club.
Yeah.
And I remember you just sitting down in the front. You came with your brother.
Yeah, dude. There's something about you that is very savant. You remember? I said to you, "Oh, last time you were here, I came to see you," and you go, "Yeah, I think you were with your brother, and you were sitting on the right in the front table." Like you knew exactly.
I remember.
Where it was.
I have it like there are little things in my memory that are etched in there, and that's one of them.
That's
I remember
so funny.
looking over and seeing you there.
Yeah, I enjoy. really do make an effort to go out if I really like a comic to see it. Just sometimes when 8 o'clock rolls around, I'm already exhausted. But it's definitely a fun time because at the end of it, you can't even remember how many people were at that show. You're like, John Madden was there and John Gruden was there, and it's hilarious. Will you see the Grudens while you're here?
Yeah. John's doing something today. He's coming to a show.
We love Coach Gruden.
I'll tell you what, man, it's a good time. I love watching Frank, man. He does an impersonation of me, man. It's a pretty good one right there, man. You ever see his daughter do that? It's pretty good, man. I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna go the Fired Football Coaches Association office. I'll be in there this weekend in that strip mall. Tell you what, man, what are we doing over here? You ever see John do those cameos? He does cameos.
Oh no, is he doing?
Like he does them for people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. So I was just watching a little Walter Payton here, and Jimmy gave me a call and said it was your birthday, man. Just like Walter Payton busting through the line, you're busting through the 50-year-old mark, man. It's going to be pretty good here.
Those are hard to do when you have to come up with.
I don't like to do that. He's like, you got to do cameo, man. You should be on there. Yeah. You should be. You can make some money. I'm like, you don't need any money. What? But I don't know. People want me to perform on those.
Yes.
They want him to be him. They would want you to be you. They want me to be somebody else.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's when he realized he was just getting quarters put in the jukebox.
Which, if it was enough money, I think I would probably whore it out. But then I feel
you can
bad.
set your price.
I know you can, but that's the thing is, I did it for a little. Ari Spears got me. He's like, Frank, you got to do cameo. I was like, I'll try. And then corporations were trying to get me to do stuff.
Well, and
I was like, well, no, and then that's undercutting me. This is supposed to be for fans, and then the corporations are like, why would you do what? So I was like, I just got to get off of it for now.
It gets a little hectic. I keep my prices like $20, and I do it for. Like if a listener is a big fan of the show or something, and it's their birthday, we'd love to do it. We try to all do them together.
I feel like I should. I mean, there's a piece of me that feels like I should, but at the same time, then I feel like I'm not giving them what they want. I record 30 different ones to get the one that's decent.
Right, you care about what
I care, and I've seen people who do like they just throw them out there, and I'm like. I can't do that. Like ums and ahs and and
you're reading right off. Bobby said to say happy, but you want to give it. You want your all.
And I don't feel like I can do that without putting a lot of time into it. And by the time I put a lot of time into it, I feel like it just wasn't worth the energy for me.
You need minions. Like I have minions. I have Spanish and I have Joe and. For Valentine's Day, Spanish will dress up as a Cupid and come in and shoot arrows at you on the cameo. That's where it gets really good.
That's Wait,
you need to get some.
After
minions.
he calls me Mr. Caliendo awkwardly 6 times,
and
Mr. Caliendo
tells you he loves you.
No, nothing. None of that.
You'll get it.
I know. On the way out,
it's weird because he used to be cute when he was a little boy, and now he's like 37 years old, and it's just kind of weird. Yeah. Frank walked in, and I looked at Frank, and I said to myself, wow, he looks great. He looks really skinny. I look at him and I go, you look nice. Awkward thing I've ever said to another
I would not have pointed it out till you said that you meant to say you look skinny. And I would not. I guess I did feel it was a little weird. I didn't know what you meant by it, but I was just going to let it go and move on.
Yeah. No,
I thought maybe the show had changed. No. Maybe there was a different show. Maybe the show's going through transition.
Listen, you want to hear something funny? Our old program director, we used to call him, his name is Michael Sharkey. We used to call him Shark. And Galvin used to make up a character called Shark Zen PD because he's like real hippie and he's real, hey guys,
right.
Him and Spanish do a show on the weekends now what's it really called?
It's called Get Real, I think.
Yeah, Let's Get Real.
Let's Get Real. And it's about man's feelings and men's feelings. And we call it Sad Weirdos. If I had your talents, I would call Sad Weirdos every weekend as a different dying person or as a different something. Just stir it up with that.
Oh my goodness.
Do you? I'm sure you have over the years. Like one of, I think it was Craig Gass who told me because Craig Gass is Al Pacino is really good too.
Yeah, that's great.
And I said, what's like? I would just sit around. I'm 53 years old. I would still sit around and make prank phone calls doing it just because it's so good. I know you are probably way past that, but to me, I'm just a big baby. But what I would also want to see, like how far that I could, like I'd call a movie studio and be like, it's me out, get me,
I got scared once because I did one of those as Madden 30 years ago.
Right.
I called a news outlet and was like, I'm quitting. I'm done. And they're like, what? Yeah. They're like, is this John Madden? I'm like, yeah, and I've had it. Al Michaels is driving me crazy. And they're like, have you been drinking? No, I haven't been drinking. They go, can we put you on the air? I was like, yeah, why wouldn't you put me on the air? I'm always on the air. And they went to go and I was like, oh. And then I told the story. I think I'm trying to think. Because there were two, I might be mixing up two things. There was another time where I did a Madden calling. That I am mixing up two things. So after I did a Madden calling. What's the word? Bordello? Is that
like a whorehouse?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Florida. I can say it. Yeah. And I was like, "You got bus parking?" I got a pretty big bus, and can we park the bus? Bus might be in there too. But can we park the bus next to? Is it a shack? Is it kind of like a love shack kind of thing? And they recorded the call and played it, and I got calls from PR people like, "Yeah, that's not good." So I was like, I got scared early on. With great power comes great responsibility.
You have more to live for, I think. Like, I would just be doing it willy-nilly.
Yeah, I always worry about what's going to I have kids and put them through college and all that. I always worry about all that. I would do a lot. I got a friend, John Holmberg. I don't know if you know him, radio guy. I
know the name, yeah.
He's fantastic. He's like you, where you can just sit and talk and hang out, and you got a great audience, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But he has no kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I watch him and listen to him, I'm like, that's what I would be like if I didn't have to worry about my kids growing up.
Yes. Yeah.
I would totally go off the rails and say things and do different things, but I've got a whole you ever hear Kevin Hart talk about like he's got that I got corporations, it's like I can only with DraftKings, that's all I can do.
Yeah, you don't want to lose anything.
But you don't want to get all that. Well, that's my family for me, and if they go off the rail, like I see all these people doing these Trump things way over the top.
Yeah.
And talking about things it's great in newsway, but as soon as you're known a little bit more, they can come after you. So I do very simple things, quiet things. Do the quiet things and say the things simply. But like the other day,
so great.
I mean, all these different things. I'm like, if I do that, that could pull some major. I could lose corporate shows that I'm paying for my family.
Yeah,
that's like I do. People are like, you're a sellout. I'm like, absolutely. I have no problem with that at this point.
Right. Do you? The Trump is great. I love when you do that.
I try to do that quiet Trump. The one where I'm very. I thought I watched in the Republican National Convention, which was funny because of a joke that I used to do. Is like someday Donald Trump is president, and I take a middle of the road kind of thing.
Sure.
I'd make fun of everybody. To me, it's like I'm making fun of everybody. If you're voting because of something I said, bad advice.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to me. I probably live a different life than you, anyways.
Right.
But a joke used to be Vice President Hogan.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Like that, and then he's there, and I like the fantasy reality kind of.
Isn't that so weird?
Worlds colliding, Jerry. Worlds colliding. So it was like that great kind of moment, but. That beginning of that Republican convention, or he's talking about, and I'll never talk about it again. Yeah. I'll never say it again. And then he starts to do, he had me there. I'm like, this is a new Trump. This is a great new Trump.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing he go into old school Trump stuff.
Yep.
And even the further right commentators have said the same kind of thing, so don't get on me about this. Yeah. But he started doing that thing. He said, and Biden. I'm not going to say his name. Biden. I'm only going to say it once. Yeah. Biden. He said it 3 times. It was like right out of a sitcom.
It was hilarious. There is no political wise on this show. You cannot, no matter what I say, whoever is listening is hearing what they want to hear.
Right. There's true. Yeah.
I said the other day, I am voting right now, out of the two candidates, I am voting for Trump. I'm telling you right now, before I say this. And I said, but I don't believe Trump was hit by a bullet.
You don't?
Well, maybe now I do.
When I had turned my head, I was hit very squarely in the lobe, the upper lobe. It's a difficult place to hit. And I brought the lady up. Who put the chart on the screen, and that chart saved me. Usually pies kill you, but this pie chart saved me.
I didn't in the beginning. I watched it when it happened a bunch of times. I watched him take it away. I have guns. I shoot. I just feel like if that bullet would have hit him in the ear, it would have blown some side of his head off at all. I mean, the idea that if it was a bullet, it went through at the exact angle where it didn't clip his head is so hard for me to believe. And I just thought maybe he was hit by getting shot at is still awful.
You're still getting shot at.
Still getting shot at.
Yeah.
And getting hit by an explosive shrapnel of something that hit you, whether it be a teleprompter or part of the lectern or something, it was still a big deal. But right away, I say that and put it up on Instagram and all the comments. Well, you libtard, you left. Right. I'm voting for the guy.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm just my opinion. You can't have an opinion without the other side of me.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know if it's real. I mean, the bots. There's so much out there. I saw a thing. I read a thing that was probably written by a bot, but written by AI. That said, most of the people you're arguing with in the comment sections are not real people.
Oh, that's insane to think about.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's funny because what I'll do when people just hate me to hate me, I just mute them and then they argue with nobody. So
how hard is that? How much do you have to hate you? You're like,
I have plenty. I mean, there's always something. There's always
hate. They don't like your actor. They don't like.
They don't like. They think I'm going one side or the other.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I've had a ton of people like, you never do Biden. I'm like, I do plenty of Biden.
Yeah.
But whole joke with Biden, I wander around in my act off stage 3 or 4 times as Biden, and the whole joke is. The initial joke is he's the only guy I've ever seen who listens with his eyes, and then that eye look is.
Folks, when I was a young man, grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. 500 AD was the fall of the Roman Empire. Come on, what are we doing with the guy? Folks, I don't have to tell you.
You do have to tell us. You're the president. Not anymore. No, you're still the president. Well, I should have been. Not your turn. Well, that's up for debate. So it's like going back and forth with those.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see this weekend too about how people take the Biden stuff, because now that he's not running, but he's still president. So I'm like, if he's still president, I can pretty much say whatever I want because he's and they're saying he's fit for that. You can't say he's too old and you're being mean. No, he's the leader of the free world still. Right. So if he'd have stepped down, I would have been more worried about it. But at the same time, it's kind of like it's all silly, anyways. I'm not like trying to teach anybody anything.
So I'm with you. I'm kind of just trying to ingest it all and figure out what's going on. And then I got Spanish over here throwing conspiracy theories at me at every corner, and I'm like,
man, I'm starting to believe almost all of them.
I mean, I'm glad he's not in the room.
Have you seen Tall Biden? Tall Biden. He's walking through the woods. Tall Biden. He's 6'6" suddenly out of nowhere, and he's walking through the woods like Sasquatch. And the Sasquatchian Biden. Joe Biden.
Isn't he the most entertaining guy that we've had in our lifetime?
Trump?
Oh,
yeah. I think I can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or not, though. I don't know if he knows. Like when you walk around your house doing your morning show or doing your show and your wife driving you crazy because you can't stop doing it.
Right.
He can't stop being Trump.
No, I don't think so.
It's like a car salesman who tries to, can you pass me the butter? Let me talk to my boss. No, you can actually just interact as a regular person. I don't think Trump can stop it.
We have a long relationship with Don Jr. He's been coming on the show since before Trump was president. And I asked him one day, I go, do you ever, like, during his presidency, I said, do you ever want to turn to your father and go, hey, don't send that tweet or don't do that, because it's like 1 ounce away from being really good. It's those stupid little things. And he goes, you have never tried to talk to my father. Right. And I thought, because he's that way 24 hours a day.
He can't stop. I did a sketch with him. Probably 10, 15 years ago at Fox, NFL sketch. And we're at Trump Tower. I'm dressed as Trump, Mini Trump. I should call him Mini Trump. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what he was going to be like.
He wasn't president.
No. He was. And one of the jokes was, I've decided to run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. I don't know how many knots I'm tying right now, but I'm in the middle of these knots. And so we're about to do the sketch. He goes, I've got a pink tie. Do you want a pink tie? You should have a pink tie. You've got a blue tie. The pink tie. Somebody get him a tie. Really? So they went and they got a tie. And then he said, that's much better. So we're doing the sketch. It stops down. I talk about this in my act sometimes. And it stops down. And he goes, was that good? Was that good? Does that seem good? Everybody's like, yes, Mr. Trump. Fantastic, Mr. Trump. I was like, wait, does anybody ever tell you something isn't good? He goes, no, Frank, and that's part of the problem. I can't get real answers. And I was like, whoa, then you should run for president. No, so then we're doing the sketch, and Ivana, which one's the daughter?
The daughter's Ivanka.
Ivanka.
See.
Spanish. See. She walks through. She just gives us. She's me dressed as the Donald. Sees him dressed as Donald, and she just shakes her head. Oh, not this again. Why is he doing this? It was, with height of The Apprentice, I think, and stuff like that. So then he goes, "Do you have a minute?" I'm like, "Sure." He goes, "Come with me." And it was like Willy Wonka, come with me. So he takes me to the Trump-Evader, and we go down, and he starts giving me stuff from a kiosk. He's like, do you like ties? Here's more ties. Here's more ties.
Really?
And he's like...
because he had the line of ties.
Yeah. He's like, do you wear cufflinks? I'm like, not yet, but you're giving away free stuff. I'll take whatever. Then he gives me a watch, and I've heard Charlie Sheen say the same kind of... story. He gave me a watch, but he pulls the price tag off of the watch as he hands it to me.
Really?
And I'm thinking, it looks like this diamond watch and all, but it's in a kiosk in Trump Tower. I don't know.
Like a cruise ship watch.
But he sent me off into New York, in the streets of New York, with what I think might be this really expensive watch. So I think that was him kind of getting back at me, and just having fun. But he's like, keep doing what you're doing. It's very good. Because I don't come at him to be mean. But I remember saying to him that stuff you said when I first met him. Because he catches you off guard because he's not the same guy you see on TV. At least he wasn't at the time.
A lot taller than you expect.
Taller, more of a pear-shaped guy.
Yeah.
And when you talk to him, he was quieter, and he wasn't the shouting Trump.
Yeah.
So he's like, I said that thing you said about and it was China or something like that. He's like, don't listen to that. I'm just talking. I was like, really? Just don't listen to when he said that to me, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like that. I go, that's how the guy negotiates. You see the guy on TV, and then you get in a room with the guy. He's a different guy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh, this is a bait and switch here. Now you think you're going into a room talking to somebody completely different.
It was opposite for me. I got the same guy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So my buddy Pete goes, we're at a WWE Hall of Fame, and we're in the super VIP. I'm wearing a suit, and Pete goes to take a leak, and he texts me and he goes, you got to come back here. Trump's back here. And this is before the presidency. And I was like, I don't know. All right. Yeah, I kind of want to meet Trump, So I walk back there, and he's just standing there. Ivanka's there too. And I said, Mr. Trump, yeah. I go, can we take a picture together? He goes, all right, make it quick. he gave me like a make it quick. Let's go. And I was like, all right. Yeah. He was very much to me the guy that I see on TV. But I get.
But he was quieter, wasn't he?
He was very quiet.
But that's what I'm saying is he wasn't that.
He wasn't over.
He was voice. He's come back down to this quiet. I say the same tough things, but I'm saying them quietly. Saying them different. It's difficult for you to hear.
Jimmy Kimmel was on Fox NFL, and I enjoyed it. You were on Fox NFL, and I enjoyed it, and it has just steadily declined. Like, I'm to the point now where every Sunday I tweet, just leave the comedy out of Fox. Rob Riggle is the worst.
Well, Rob's been gone for a couple of years
now.
now.
But he was the last.
But I think some younger people really liked him. I mean, it was and probably other people. I know it's funny because when Kimmel did it, there was really no social media.
Yeah.
There weren't any specific podcasts. There wasn't a way to get the Mike Calta Show out around the country to anybody who might be a fan who could listen at any time they want.
Right.
Now there are specific sports podcasts doing all the jokes. The internet, Twitter, the memes, all the jokes have been done.
Yeah.
By the time you get to Sunday, you pretty much have to shoot those things on Thursday.
Right.
It's old. That was the problem we had at Mad TV against Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live was always going to be better and more up to the minute. They could change the script that day.
Yeah.
We had to shoot 2 weeks in advance, essentially.
Ooh. Well, I will say there was a good portion of Mad TV's time up again that was way funnier than Saturday Night Live.
Because it was edited and you could put it together. I mean, you could. It's hard to be one take on TV live, and things might have changed that day. That's a hard show to do. That's why so many groundlings are great at it, because they're just used to being on their feet. Not as many stand-ups over the years.
I don't know that I could, to me, it was always a dream to do something like Saturday Night Live. Not that I had any chance of doing that. It just that seemed like the dream job of doing it. But then the more people I talked to that worked there and did that, I don't know if I could deal with all that stress.
I don't think I could have.
No.
I'm not a cutthroat kind of person. I think you have to be there, even if you're a good person,
just to stand out among
just to
everybody
fight.
else.
You just have to be a fighter and constant. I back down a lot in my life.
I'm sure. You get to a certain point where you realize what's important, and you just have to worry about what's important.
Well, that's to me. Listen, if I had a show like you have,
yeah,
and I had people around me that did the social media stuff, not that you don't see it or sign off on stuff or comment or whatever, but if I had people just doing that and putting it up, which I have a person starting to work on that kind of stuff. It's different than me putting my own stuff up all the time. I just feel like I'm chasing.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to chase. Like so many people. And when you're young and you haven't done anything, you want to chase. I used to wear a Mad TV shirt to every interview I did.
Right.
I was a different person. I was a grinder getting out there.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, well, if it comes, and agents get so mad at me, they're like, why don't you? Because I'd rather just act and do little small parts and audition for stuff I'll never get.
Yeah. What have you done recently that I may or not remember that I saw?
I mean, I haven't done that much. I've been trying to do more of the acting thing, which I think I'm getting better at.
Right. That is something. Like the other day, I picked up those drumsticks and I said to Galvin, "I will never be able to play drums. I just can't. I don't have the coordination. I'm a terrible actor. I believe.
I bet you if you played the right thing,
that's probably true. It's probably easier for me to do something more." Yeah, I get that, but I'm like even when I do, every once in a while I'll do an audition on tape or something, and I go, I don't even want to send this. This is all. I just never feel it.
I can't rely on my own opinion of myself on that. So I send it off to the agents and stuff. I used to say, if you think it's good enough, send it in, and they're like, stop saying that. It's good. It's pretty good. I was like, okay, then other people must be awful. Stop doing that. I'm like, no, I just didn't know. But now I'm starting to feel like I watch some of the stuff I do, and I'm like, okay, it feels like it should be. I used to get these auditions for big movies when I first went to LA, and because I was the new thing, and I would get these auditions. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd look directly into the camera, and I thought acting was doing that. So I would hold on to words like nobody does in the real world. And nobody told me because they don't teach you. They just assume, I'm like, I did stand up. I'd never done a sketch show. I'd never done a sketch until I was on TV doing sketch TV. Preparation is a huge thing, and that's why they like, if you're an actor who's done the stage, that's why a lot of these stars when people get these giant roles, are stage actors because they've been tested and have done it their entire lives.
Do you know Brian Scalero? He's a comic. He's done a lot of.
I know of
so I know him a little bit, and he's like, I'm one of the comics that could actually act, and then he's been like on Mad Men and stuff, and so there is a bunch of things for those sort of guys to do, but you have to really want to be that actor. I mean,
it's a lot of work, and the memorizing stuff, like that's the hardest thing for me. Memorizing 5 to 7 pages of dialogue.
I can't
for something that is probably never going to pay off.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. If I felt like I got a chance for this to pay, like if I really felt I had a chance to get this part, or if there was a legitimate chance to get the part, I would have no problem putting the work in.
Yeah.
But when you put 3 days of just walking around, talking to myself in the lines, maybe writing them down, writing the first letter of each word down, doing all these different mnemonic devices.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy because my memory stinks as it is.
I was watching that. I was rewatching that show, The Offer, where it's about the making of The Godfather.
Oh, right.
And they showed.
I think I auditioned for that.
Didn't shut up.
Yeah, no.
Real?
Yeah, no. Who's
Miles Teller was the main character, played Hal Ruddy.
I wasn't getting that wrong.
No. I'm just saying, but what do you remember what it was for?
It was an Italian guy. If you pull up the cast, the names, it's one of the famous guys in that. It was a big role.
Joe Colombo?
Yeah.
Oh, for a mobster.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that was it.
It was Ribisi, wasn't it? Giovanni Ribisi got that.
Oh, yeah. It was no chance.
No chance.
The funny thing is, I kind of did it with almost I was like, I don't know I wasn't finding something for it. So I was looking for some type of like actor to pull off of for that. I think I was pulling off of Leonardo DiCaprio for it.
Really?
Because I always go to like Wolf of Wall Street when I'm thinking like, 5 years ago when I first started Stratton Oakmont. So I was doing that kind of thing, which was totally wrong for the part. But it was like I was getting through it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, at least it's watchable.
Joe Colombo's a real guy. So you can go
well, that's the thing.
yeah.
But you don't always
want to be that guy.
I went up and looked up the Columbo because I didn't realize he was a real guy until I watched. And I looked. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. So I did.
After I watched it, I had to go to my father and have him explain all this stuff to me because I was a kid when I was just born when that came out. But my father had been there for all of that and the shootings at the rallies and all that stuff. It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah. I mean, I got an Italian family in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's amazing because my wife always says tells me I'm watered down, which is 100% true.
Water, you're
She's
Arizona
like, you were so watered. Well, I grew up in Wisconsin, Waukesha, Wisconsin, outside of Milwaukee. But my family, you would go into the house, you go downstairs into the kitchen. For some reason, the kitchen's downstairs, smoke filled everywhere. They're cooking. It's playing cards. It looked like the dogs playing cards.
Right.
Everybody had the same neck as the dogs.
Yeah. Leaned in. Yeah.
I mean, it was just.
It's funny because we had the downstairs kitchen. We had an upstairs kitchen, but we had a downstairs.
Yeah, there's just a downstairs kitchen,
that's so weird.
And that's where Thanksgiving would be, and all sorts of stuff. Everything would be downstairs. There was a den.
That's dead though. Nobody does that anymore. Even the Italians.
Oh, really?
No. When's the last time you saw a whole family playing cards?
Well, I'm not
like
allowed to talk about mine. There's certain things we're not allowed to say.
I understand. Frank Caliendo is here, and he is going to be at Side Splitters Friday, 7:30 and 9:30, Saturday, 7 and 9:30. And I'm glad you came in early. I get to see you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I need to know this. Who are the other shows that you like in the country? I want to know who's left.
Holmberg is great in Phoenix. Rover in
Rover is in Cleveland,
and he's been a great friend too. But I'm trying to think who else is still. I'm going to be missing somebody, and people are going to be mad.
Oh no, I'm always curious to see because obviously we know Rover and. There was Elliot in DC was another big
Used
one.
to do Elliot. I did Elliot. He was great.
I don't even know
I started doing the sports show there. The Junkies. They're great. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
See, I'm already missing people.
The Junkies were. I used to be on a sports station here where the Junkies they ran overnight, like they just reran their show, and I'd catch it coming home from gigs and stuff every once in a while, and I was like, these guys are great. Like I don't know how this is
because they're friends.
Steal everything.
They're just friends.
Yeah. Well, one guy's like a lawyer. One guy went to law school. Like they're just a bunch of guys who also happen to do a radio
and hang out. And they have full histories together.
I think they were a podcast before podcasts were cool.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, but when you have sports, and I'm not yet. Sports is a great. It's a great through line for everything because you always have brand new news. I think it's harder to do a show like this, which encompasses everything. I think sports gives you specific stories, and then you can stray from it.
That's true. And those guys would do sports, but then they would also do wrestling, and then they would go and they do funny interviews with people. I think they're
who
one
do
of the
you
better
like?
shows.
Who do you?
Nobody. I don't even listen to Joe Rogan. I'll take small clips of things on the internet.
Yeah, that's right.
The guys that I loved, like I love Ron Bennington because from Sirius XM because Ron and Ron used to be the big show that was here that I grew up listening to.
Right.
I can't listen to Howard anymore. I don't even recognize that show from what it used to be. But I loved Howard. I loved the guy named Neil Rogers. He used to be out of Miami, who since passed away. But as far as throughout the country, I just hear like when Bert will come in or guys that we really like, and they're still doing radio, and I'm like, who is left there? And I get the same thing. I get Rover. I get Todd and Tyler.
Great, yeah.
There's just the same handful of shows.
The people you can go in and just talk.
Yeah.
And then you can do your stuff. I throw in a voice here and there, but you'll talk to me as a human being. As what I would always call ladio, like radio for ladies, where you go in, they've got 30-second snippets that you can do. That was always a little
Frank
more.
Frank Caliendo's here. He's going to be at Science Business on Friday. Frank, tell us what John Madden said about you.
Hey, I'm dead. Oh, he passed away? Is that recent? Okay, you did the research.
And he's basketball?
He's bad. So I'm sure there are a few more, but that was...
Yeah, I was just curious.
It's the people I can come in and sit down and hang out with.
Yeah.
Like, how many shows are allowed to do what we just did?
How long do you think we've been talking?
I mean, it feels like 20 minutes. I'm going to say closer to 45.
50.
50.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You
Like-
don't if you don't pay attention to it and you just effortless.
But isn't that what you would want?
100%.
As a listener, as a person running a show, like people don't even know how much time has passed unless they hate me and I'm going to get the comment. But is he still doing John Madden?
There's also not with you necessarily because we know each other, but there's a certain time that you need to break somebody down, like to make you feel comfortable here before the good stuff starts flowing out. You know what I mean? And it takes some time.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you're allowed to do radio differently than 99%. It's the people who earn it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, it sounds like a ass kissing right here.
No,
but it's a
I've done it
reality.
a long time.
People who've earned it can get, and it's hard to even do that anymore because there's so many consultants. Then every once in a while there's a good consultant. I believe there are some, but a lot of
haven't met him.
There are so many consultants have the opposite idea of what's going to work. We need to do 5-minute segments, and you need to hit and
then do it
traffic
every day. You got a good bit, do it every day.
Right.
Different. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Listen, we started off. The best advice I can give somebody is to do what you want to do because we started off having to play 8 songs an hour. And now we play no music, and we're number one, and we know what's good. Just go with what you know is good. And sometimes you have to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to get yelled at after the show.
Yeah, and then you use it as content for the show.
Right.
Getting
Yeah.
yelled at is always a good thing.
Sure.
It's a piece of it.
People always want to rebel against their boss. So
yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, Frank, great to see you. I enjoyed this 51 and a half minutes that we had together. Frank Caliendo is a great comedian who also does great voices. So go see him 7:30 and 9:30 on Friday, 7 and 9:30 on Saturday. It's at Side Splitters. You can go to sidesplitterscomedy.com, buy your tickets online, pick your seats, and do the whole deal. Or 813-960-1197. Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks
You
for
look
having me.
nice, by the way.
I feel nice. I feel real nice.
We'll take a quick break.
Very nice. Tremendously nice.
We got Cody Tucker and we got Martine Grammatica still coming up. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. But first, we got to go to the hotline and welcome our man Cody Tucker to the show. Cody, how are you, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you doing?
You can find Cody on YouTube at the Cody Tucker Show and on Instagram. You've had some really good ones this week, Cody, to the point where I try to remember them and I can't even remember what they were. I've seen so much information. What do we got this week?
So actually, I have some casting close calls, original choices.
Galvin,
for famous roles.
These are your favorites.
I love them,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go. What do we got?
Perfect. All right, so the role of Clubber Lang in Rocky III was originally meant for Joe Frazier.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's role in Airplane was originally offered to Pete Rose. One of the people who auditioned to play Luke Skywalker in Star Wars was Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Carrie Fisher and Melanie Griffith both auditioned for Jodie Foster's role in Taxi Driver. Melanie Griffith also auditioned for Linda Blair's role in The Exorcist. Harrison Ford turned down roles in Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Alien, Misery, and JFK.
Jesus.
Burt Reynolds' role in The Deliverance was turned down by Charlton Heston. Bruce Willis's role in Die Hard was originally offered to Don Johnson. And one of the people who auditioned for Steve Guttenberg's role in Police Academy was Bruce Willis.
That would have been totally. Do you know about they were supposedly they wrote that with Frank Sinatra in
Die
mind?
Hard, yeah.
Yeah, it's based on a book, and the part of the licensing for the book meant that if that movie was ever going to be made, it had to be offered to Frank Sinatra, who I think was like in his 60s whenever they made it, maybe, but 50s, but yeah.
See him crawling through the air ducts and stuff. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, Cody. Thank you. If you want to find Cody, you can find the Cody Tucker Show on YouTube. And would you say you're blowing up a little bit more recently? I start seeing other people talk about you more and more.
Yeah, and it's kind of taking off in a definitely unexpected way. But I've caught on to a little bit of it too, man. It's pretty wild.
One of the most interesting accounts that I follow on all of social media. If you're not following them, go follow them right away. And we check in with them. We try to do it at least once a week. Cody, thank you, brother.
No problem, man. Y'all have a good one.
Take it easy. There you go, Cody Tucker. Martine Grammatica is here. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Good morning.
Listen, are you in better shape? Did you lose weight?
Well, my wife stops feeding me. That's what I keep telling you every day. No, I maybe like 3 or 4 pounds.
You look skinnier. This is 2 skinny guests in a row we've had on the show.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Well, I've been doing a lot of traveling for my daughter's sport, so you don't eat that much when you're at the fields all the time. So I think that might have been it.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. And is she done now, or is she?
She goes to Philly next week.
Holy Christ.
Her last, and I won't be able to do it. We have the Bucks games. If they make the finals, I might fly out on Sunday and go watch
and
that.
check it out.
But, and this is for soccer?
This is flag. So she did one out-of-state tournament with soccer, which was the nationals for our league, and then she's done 2 flag football, and that would be her 3rd one. So
nice.
Yeah, the summer's pretty. We thought it was gonna be a nice, relaxing summer vacation. No chance with her sports, but it's all right.
What about Miami? Did you get to hang out in Miami for a couple of days?
We did. We went for a week between. So we went to California for soccer for a week.
Right.
Had that week off between going back to football. So we went to Miami for a week and then headed to California for flag. So.
Jesus, to California for I wouldn't want to drive to Brandon for soccer, let alone having to go to California.
I know. Well, when they make nationals, you kind of
have no choice.
You have no choice. You know, it sounds awesome when you're doing it, and then when you're like, it ruins your whole summer. Right. And you're like, man, if we would have just lost, we would have not had to do this. But at the time, you want to win. But no, it was cool. She enjoys it, so I don't mind doing it.
My daughter is playing volleyball, which I like because she's young and she's tall and she's doing it now, and it's inside.
Indoors.
That's cool. My wife's like, if you don't want to go, I go, I don't care about going. I'll go sit there for all those games if they're inside. It's fantastic. That was like when Joey used to play Little League. That was the worst. Even in the Winter League, I was sitting out there sweating my ass off, and then 2 weeks later, I'm freezing my ass off. I couldn't make up my mind. Martine is here with us, as he is going to be throughout the football season, as he usually is, so we could do football picks on Thursday.
We do have a little bit of breaking Buccaneer news.
Oh,
hold on.
What do we got?
How breaking? Do I need breaking news music?
Sure.
Did Baker text you?
No, he did not. Did not.
And now let's go over to the sports department with breaking news with Gio. I know what you're going to say. Can I guess?
Go
Tristan Wirfs
Yes.
signs an $800 million contract.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs reached an agreement on a 5-year deal for $140 million.
Wow.
He's now
that's
the
great.
highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history and the highest paid Tampa Bay Buccaneer in franchise history.
That's the highest paid?
Yes.
Holy cow.
$140 million for 5 years. He'll be under contract now through 2029, and if he hits everything, it'll be $158 million.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Alexa, how much is $140 million divided by 5? $28 million a year.
Yeah.
That must be nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's worth it.
Yeah,
He's the best.
He is great at it, and he is. It's great when you get a guy that makes that kind of money, and everybody goes, "Yeah, well, he's worth it." You know?
Totally.
Oh, good, Martine. You make close to that.
I mean, if I was kicking now, maybe. No. I wish. I wouldn't be working.
Yeah.
But that's what most people think. If you play in the NFL, you automatically can retire for life.
Right.
I said, I didn't play quarterback.
Yeah. But even what about your incentives? Like, because I mean, goddamn, you were scoring all the points for the team. You had to have good kick incentives, right?
Well, the thing is, when you sign your rookie deal, you're stuck to that with that deal.
For how long?
4 years.
Oh,
so the first 4 years were already slotted for rookie year. No, I mean, I'm not complaining.
No.
I'm not complaining, but I'm not making. We didn't make it. Well, the guys before us didn't make what we made. So now as kickers are making, the average pay for kickers higher than the average pay for a running back. I saw that on
really
on social media.
Because you see a lot of kickers missing lately. If you get a guy that's putting them in, you better pay him.
Yeah, for sure.
They say Justin Tucker makes $6 million a year right now. Yeah. He's the highest paid guy.
All right, that's not bad.
Tucker deserves that too.
Can I go back in time and try it again? I'm not saying I'm good as Tucker, but
bonuses got to be good when you're not when you get playoff bonuses and stuff, right? Like as the team advances,
right? Those are nice. So when each week that you advance, what really is frustrating is if you get the first round bye, you don't get that money. So it doesn't make sense.
Sucks.
I know that we always. Obviously, you want the bye because everybody needs a break, and your body's mentally and physically.
But if you do well enough to get the bye, you should get the money
because that comes from the NFL. It's not from the team. I think the NFL allots whatever money is supposed to be paid in the playoffs. But the two teams or the teams that get the bye, they don't get that extra pay. So you make less money if you get the bye.
Give you a pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi.
Yeah. Well, you get a weekend out, get a 2-day vacation.
Boy, I'll tell you the most insulting thing that you had to deal with, and I think Oh, all these great Hall of Fame players had to be at that old $1 place, man. What a garbage facility that was.
We didn't feel like insulted because we didn't know any better. For me.
But what about even when you traveled? Like I went to the old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the old one,
right?
And even their visiting locker room was better than what you guys had over there.
No, I know, but the stadiums, we didn't know what their facilities looked like. I didn't realize what a nice facility was because when I left the Bucs, the next place I went was Indy, and they're not even great. But I'm like, man, this is actually pretty nice. Then when I went to Dallas, it got better. Then you go to the Patriots. I'm like, man, this is so. Yeah, we did have, but we called it the woodshed. Back in the day, because that's what made us stronger. I think because look, nobody expects us to win. It's kind of like the Rocky movies. When he's training with all the. That's what we were. We had the gym outside with all the rusty. Remember that with all the rusty equipment.
The weights were outside in a place that rains the most in any other part of the country. The the weights are outside. Jet planes are dropping jet fuel over you as you land. I mean, that was. And then how about this? I don't know if you were here for this, but they went through so much rain here that they had to practice inside the parking garage at the airport. They're running plays in the parking garage.
Those were great for us because we couldn't kick in there. So if they had a dome, then so we're like, okay, day off for us. And it's you're doing in the where it's tilted. It's like the drive where you drive up to. So it wasn't like so guys. The defense had to sit on the bottom and it was. But
that's such garbage.
But that was our walkthrough if we couldn't play outside. So I think that's what made that team so special because nobody complained. You never had a guy say, "Oh, our facilities are horrible. I don't want to be here." Besides Keyshawn.
I was saying, how about Keyshawn? Keyshawn coming here from the Jets. They say that the Jets is even nicer than the Giants because it's already an insult that they have to play at Giant Stadium, so they made their facility nicer.
Yeah.
Holy, that must have really been something. And then Galvin, the best is I'd go there on Wednesdays for media day.
Yeah.
And the highlight of their entertainment was a small little TV in the equipment room, and they were playing hockey. They were playing PlayStation 1 hockey. So funny. I just hear Sap, get him, Rona, get him. You just cheering.
The Price is Right too.
Yeah,
Go in the players' lounge, watch The Price is Right. There.
So funny.
But we had to eat in our locker.
Eat in your locker.
No, it was.
And you had to line up and get food in the hallway.
Catered. It wasn't even like a nutritionist. Nutrition was like a Cuban press sandwich. That's all we ate every morning, every day.
That's so funny. And then once I found out the press can get food there too, I was like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever."
Those sandwiches were great, though,
dude. When Pete and I were poor, we would get press passes to go to hockey games just so we could eat dinner. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Martin Gramatica is here. Martin now in his post-football career works for Lifeguard Imaging, who we are big fans of. Carmen, I think, was under the impression that when she gets the colonoscopy, you guys clean her butt. She
said, what it's doing.
You said, when do I get cleaned yesterday is what you said. No.
Cleaned out.
No. They actually stick a thing in there, and then that's what the camera sees to make sure that your colon is all clear.
Right, but they're flushing you out.
Before.
Well, you're flushing yourself out. Yeah. We're not doing that. You better be flushed out before you get
but that's part of but that's what I mean. Like you're getting clean, you're flushing yourself out, so you're getting cleaned out, and then they're going to check.
Yeah, but there's also where you can actually go and get that service done, where you get flushed out. They're not doing that. They're just screening you. You're supposed to flush yourself out.
Right, but they give you the medicine.
Yeah.
Well, but
to flush yourself out. Yes.
It's not a spa treatment.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, Gio, but for me, I feel like it's gonna feel pretty good. I'm excited.
She's somebody who uses that area more than we do. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not scared. I'll
2-lane highway.
It's like an old dirt road.
Twice a year.
What is a girlfriend day and on your birthday?
What?
You said twice a year.
Oh, I mean, really, it just depends on how much tequila.
You've been drinking.
Yeah, how much tequila and wine I have in me.
Yeah, I love it. Carmen, you're a trooper.
Yeah, listen, you got to experience a little bit of everything in life.
Mm-hmm. I'll never experience that and be just fine with it.
Yeah, well, you're not living.
Yeah. Live like you were dying.
Yeah.
All right, so Lifeguard Imaging is, I'll tell you, I've gotten so many people, so many of our listeners that have emailed me and said, you know what, I heard you and Martine talking about it. I went in there, I got checked out, and I feel great. No problems, no nothing at all. But I've also gotten a bunch of, I went in there with my parent, and it turned out they had this, or it turned out they had that. We went straight to the hospital. And as you know, mine wasn't very good. And I went straight to the cardiologist, and now I'm on a regimen to make sure that when I go back this year, it's less than it was before. And I'm a little bit nervous about that.
That's the question. When are you coming? You've been dodging us. So that's
no. I said to Carmen the other day, I go, now that Martine's back, we got to get in and go in there and do it. And also because, let's be honest, I mean, it's one thing to do the colonoscopy, the virtual colonoscopy, but to go get the lifeguard scan is nothing. You don't even have to take your clothes off. You don't have to do anything. You just lay there on the thing, and I'm so claustrophobic that I can't get an MRI. I hate all that stuff. This is great. They stick you in, they stick you out. It's an open tube. You can look at, you can see right through it and out the window while you're there. It's very comfortable, and it's right when you start to go, I wonder how it's over. And,
5 minutes.
I mean, the feeling of being in there is nothing, and then you get your results, and the peace of mind that comes with that is, there's no price you could put on that because you just went through it. They've seen all your insides. They know that if they got a problem, they know they're telling you whether or not you're going to have a heart event in the next 5 years or so, and you can monitor it and change it. That's the best part about it. So I feel good about going the last time. It was an eye opener, but now I feel better about going back this time.
Well, now we can, that's the baseline. The first is the baseline, so we'll be able to compare everything in a year, about a year and a half since you scanned to see what changed. And a lot of times when people understand and know what's going on, the change is for the good.
Yeah.
Because now you've made lifestyle changes to feel better and get better. So so it's great to have that compatible.
Yeah, and when I left there, I wouldn't say nervous, but definitely concerned that I got to do something, I got to go, and a lot has changed since then. So hopefully the next one will be good, and then if not, I'll be very upset and go right to the Skyway. No, I'm just kidding. We definitely got to come in and do it. And Joe, you got to go too because you were second highest.
I know I was second highest, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, first oldest, second highest.
But I will be cleaned out before I get there, Mike. I promise.
You don't need that for your heart.
Oh,
you don't need a heart scan.
Joe decided to make no life changes, so we'll see how that goes.
Now, we don't have to necessarily decide today, but we really need to figure out what is going to be our winner and losers thing for football picks. And now, is Ian in this year on the football picks again?
I haven't spoken to him about it, but I'm sure he is.
Okay,
so last year's punishment was dinner with Spanish.
Right.
Yeah. Dinner with the loser.
I took the
buyout.
Last year's stunk because you took the buyout. Yeah. So
last year stuck because everybody dropped out once I won, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go to dinner now." So then I was stuck with just me in Spanish, and then he just paid me.
Right. It definitely was a lot less stressful than the tattoo year.
Yeah,
I was stressing with the tattoo, so that for me it was a lot easier.
I know, but I followed through and got my tattoo. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody have any suggestions? All right.
Well, like
Carmen,
everyone.
3 times a year?
No.
Yikes.
I'm just trying to, because like we came up with suggestions last time, and I had one that I liked, but Mike didn't like.
Well, say it again. Maybe I'll like it this year.
No, it was so the person who loses, you have to go to the airport, pick the cheapest round flight, and fly coach to wherever it sends you, and just fly back and forth. Just fly someplace and then fly right back.
I'm not flying coach.
Exactly. See, because you're not a good loser.
But here's the deal. That is a very good punishment for an off-the-air league. I'm saying like something we'd have to do on that we can incorporate in the show. I get what you're saying. That's a good idea.
I mean, you'd film the whole thing, but anyway.
We don't have a video guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I like the tattoo thing because it makes Martine the most nervous.
You can do the same thing twice, can you? You can do shave head.
No, something along the lines.
Oh, okay.
Shave the entire body.
Listen to me. There's no way I'm shaving my head.
We could do a Brazilian wax.
On air.
You have to get waxed.
Is that the undercarriage?
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's everything.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That just sounds painful.
I'd rather shave my head.
I think I'd rather get a tattoo.
Crack the belly button.
Oh.
But if you lose, then we all get to watch you do it?
I mean, you can't. You can watch the face. You can't see that.
Come on.
The crevasse.
Fun stuff. Oh.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I don't know. Something like that, though. We should do something like that.
What if you have to go to a nail salon and get nails put on and keep them on for an entire week?
Like really long, like 2 inches nails.
I do like that a lot. Because then you just have to hear them talking about you in Vietnamese while they're doing it.
No. Gotta wear gloves all week.
Yeah.
Get them all sparkly and stuff.
Oh, man.
Are you afraid to shave your head because you don't think the hair will go back?
Well, definitely not go back. And the head that is underneath. I don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I might just look like one piece of neck and shoulders after if you do that. I can't.
Yeah,
thumb. Thumb. Yeah, I think I have a thumb face.
Don't lose then.
No.
I've seen. I saw one where a guy had to enter like a wrestling tournament or a karate tournament with like no practice. You just have to go and fight.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Spanish playing this year?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we're good then.
Ian's playing.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I feel pretty confident that I'm not going to lose. You know what I mean? I may not win, but I'm not going to lose.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't feel that confident. For sure.
I feel like the worst I could do is middle of the pack.
I can't imagine coming in last place.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe more breaking news. It says U.S. Russia prisoner swap underway. Are they letting that journalist go?
I hope so.
He's the one that's over there, right?
And then we have like the warlord, the Russian warlord, or
we
something.
have a Russian warlord. They have a journalist, and we're gonna have to trade to get him out. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail everything. I like the fingernail thing. Who said that?
I did.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea. Because for a whole week, you'd have to go somewhere. I mean, especially around that time, that'd be pretty fun.
And you have to keep them on the entire week.
Yeah. Just getting them in the first place would be funny.
Yeah.
Tonight, we have our first game. It is the Texans and the
Bears. At the Bears.
Yeah. Well, they're playing at the probably wherever they do the Hall of Fame, don't they?
Game. Yeah. Hall of Fame game, yeah, but Bears are the home team.
Right. Okay.
They say Caleb Williams is not going to play at all during preseason.
Why?
I guess they just...
He's getting his nails done. Did you...
my bad.
Which is, for a rookie, it's surprising, but...
Yeah. I mean,
first
for
round,
a preseason...
Number one pick in the draft.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd want to see what he can do.
At least for one game, but I guess he's not going to play at all.
That's crazy. Yeah. And at all, not even like for a couple of downs?
I don't think so. That's what I believe I read that yesterday.
All right. We'll see. Let me grab some phone calls real quick. Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Hey, Mike, how we doing this morning?
Good, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I had a suggestion. How about if the loser has to dress up like Mrs. Roper from the Three's Company and stand on the corner, put the moo-moo, football picks loser.
I have to tell you, I'm very comfortable dressing like Mrs. Roper, and Carmen does it most days. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Mike Calta Show, hello?
Yeah, I just say congratulations for Carmen getting a colonoscopy because I had mine last week. It's me, Medicine Man.
Yeah, we figured that out whenever you called.
Yeah, thanks, Medicine Man. Mike Calta Show, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, I got an idea for the last place for the fantasy league.
Okay, what do you got?
Stand on the major intersection in just your underwear and a sign that says, "I suck at fantasy football."
Yeah, you guys really want to see other guys in their underwear. That happens a lot. Unless Carmen loses, then that's a really fun thing. We have a call on the hotline, Carmen?
Yes. Here.
Okay, this is Frankie from Lifeguard, who works with Martine.
What's up, Mike?
How are you, Frankie?
I'm good, buddy. I had a proposal, and Martine's going to know when I say this what it is because we saw it on TV ourselves.
I figure you would when you
the
call.
Loser? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would have to figure out something for Carmen, but if it's a guy that loses, he has to have his prostate exam checked while on air on one of your shows.
So I think that's a great idea because that does two things. One, it promotes prostate cancer awareness, and two, because it's utterly embarrassing and it'd be great, but also we should check Carmen's either way and just to see. Maybe she grew one.
If you wouldn't have said anything, she wouldn't have known.
Yeah. I'm in for that. I'm in for that.
We should have Frankie play too then.
Frankie.
No, that's okay. I'm a spectator.
I have had that done before. It is not painful, but it is a little bit uncomfortable. It'd be even weirder to do it in front of dudes. Yeah. In fact, Joe, wouldn't it be great if you just set the camera up on their face and you have to have the face reaction?
That's exactly how we taped Carmen's butthole tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Yes, just
You're
show
right.
the face, yeah.
You're right.
We could combine the two, do the fingernails and the prostate.
I'm fine with that too. I'm fine with that too. You have to wear the nails while you get it done.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Oh, I was saying wear the nails while you check it.
No.
Oh my God.
Frankie, thank you. Excellent suggestion.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Thanks, Frankie. I appreciate that.
Listen,
he must have confidence that I'm going to do better than last.
Either that or he knows how much you enjoy losing. Yeah, look, we have some time to figure it out, but we do need to, before the first week starts, to really think of something cool and make it something that people don't want to do, so that we have full investment in the picks this year. Hilarious. What is the best bet for our listeners who are listening that want to go on Lifeguard and get checked out? What is it, to call and make an appointment? What do they need to do?
Yeah, if they call, make an appointment, or go on the website, there's a place where they can get all that information and just make an appointment. The one thing is, Mike, make sure they do it right away if they're listening now, because if not, they're going to put it off. And once you put it off, you're never, life gets in the way. That happened to me when I heard it.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple of weeks. Luckily, I ran into Frankie, and then that's when he invited me in.
It happened to me too, because I wanted to do the virtual colonoscopy, and we kept having to reschedule and change it. And then I kind of forgot about it, and I got away. But you do need to have that done, and that's really important. I just got I just got the email from Colorguard. Yeah, they were like, "Hey, it's been 3 years since you pooped in a box. Time to poop in a box again." And I'm like, I'd rather just go get the virtual colonoscopy where they could see everything in my whole colon and just have real peace of mind on that.
Well, we also see the outside, Mike. So if anything's going on the outside, we can see it as well. Yeah, the Colorguard, there's some pros and cons to that. I still have the box when I bought it like 3 years ago. Never did it.
Well, it's just Colorguard is just a hey, if we see anything kind of thing.
Right.
When you do the virtual colonoscopy, they're searching everywhere.
You know for sure if there is something or nothing. Like for me, I had mine done. I don't know if I came on after I had it.
I don't know if you did. I don't know if you did. I know you did. You went and had it done.
Yeah, because I had a friend of mine my age was diagnosed with stage 4 colon. I was going to wait till 50, but then I'm like, why? I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
And now, luckily, everything's fine, so I'm good for 5 years. But I know that I'm really good because it's the inside and the outside that was checked. So now I can have that peace of mind for 5 years. But it wasn't. Santiago keeps saying, don't say how easy it felt because they're going to think different of you. But I was preparing myself for the worst.
Well, like you got to get something stuck in your butt. And, And, that's something to think about. Now, when they do a colonoscopy, they stick,
6 feet.
6 feet of it all the way up there because your colon is twisty and winding and they have to go all the way in. With the camera, they're going in. With this one, they go in a couple of inches. And then they put you in the tube, and not only is that effective, but they're able to see, like you said, the inside, the outside, and any polyps or anything that are in there, and they get to do it that way. So I get it, man. It seems to be much less invasive than 6 feet.
It is. Well, I never had the real one, but now I, knowing what it felt like, it wasn't horrible, just a little uncomfortable when we pump the air in the colon. You just feel a little discomfort.
Yeah.
But then I was back to work that day because there's no anesthesia. So that's the other thing. You're not put under some. If you do a regular colonoscopy, usually you're out 2 to 3 days between the time you start prepping and then the anesthesia and the procedure. With ours, I started prepping at 4 p.m. on Thursday, had it done 7:30 in the morning, and worked all day. So it's a minimum prep as well.
Do you ever think that the people who are doing it, administering it, like from now on, they're like, I know what Martin Grumatica's butthole looks like?
I try to forget about that. Those were my thoughts was keeping me from doing it.
Right.
But then
you have to see them every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
But now that my buddy had the cancer, I'm like, it's worth it. I'd rather they make fun of me. And I was trying to keep it quiet, but then the word got out. And then they threw a VC party on Friday for me. So there was balloons. So I'm like, all right.
Well, look, I'm glad that you did it. I encourage everybody to go out there and do it. And then we got to get our scans scheduled. We'll get in there. Either we'll go one day as a whole show, or we'll trickle in and get checked out.
Let me know.
Go to lifeguardimaging.com. You could schedule your appointment there or give them a call. It's right over there on the Tampa side of the causeway. It's simple to get to. There's parking. There's everything. Like, they couldn't make it any easier for you. Lifeguardimaging.com. We'll take a break. We got football tonight, garbage football for the next couple weeks, but then we'll come in and we'll start making our picks solid, and we'll really come up with a good idea. All right, brother. Thank you. We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. We'll come back and wrap things up. It's 102.5 The Bone.
We talked about this yesterday, but it just happened. The Italian boxer, Angela Carini, she got into the ring with the transitioned female boxer. 46 seconds. And she got punched in the face and held her hand up and said, "Yep, that is way too hard for me to get punched in the face." It's
completely unfair.
Yeah, she said, quote, "I'm heartbroken. I went in the ring to honor my father. I was told a lot of times that I was a warrior, but preferred to stop for my health. I have never felt a punch like this." The 25-year-old said, I got in the ring to fight. I didn't give up, but one punch hurt too much. And I said, enough. I'm not going to I'm going out with my head held high. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous because the man that she had to fight, whatever, is all happy about it and stuff. And it's like, how could you possibly be happy about that?
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, is this the only sport that this is happening in? Because this is the only transition or trans female I've heard of competing.
Well, there's two in boxing. There's two in boxing for the Olympics.
They should only be able to fight each other.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. But I'm saying, is this in track? Is this happening anywhere else?
It's the only one I've heard of was that.
Yeah, and that's the only one I know.
Which is ridiculous.
They advance now to the next round.
Yeah.
It's gonna end up being them two.
We had a trans boxer in here not too long ago, but she only fights other trans boxers or she'll fight men.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the most fair thing to do.
And she punches like a truck.
Yes. And it's completely unfair that they would allow this to go on. And me, I'm all for LGBTQ. That's a lot of letters to say. I'm all for the support of the community, the trans community. Be whatever you want, do whatever you want, but you gotta draw the line somewhere, and you gotta be fair.
And the thing, this Italian boxer, she is 25 years old, and like Gio, we were talking about it before we went on air. Her whole life trained to be
one of the best
boxer.
in the world.
Yeah, best in the world. Gets to the Olympics and then has to fight a guy and gets punched in the face twice and goes, "I can't."
It seems so unfair. If you have a committee that decides on these things, seems this should be like a no-brainer.
Yeah, and they went against the boxing committee. The Olympic committee went against the boxing committee, which they said, hey, you can't do that. It's going to be,
Just the safety concerns alone should have been enough to stop that.
What if they would have broke this girl's face? What if they would have broke her nose? And I don't know. It just doesn't seem very fair. And I didn't see the fight, but I saw pictures from the fight, and the one who won is like real arrogant about it too.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I don't know.
Speaking of boxing, Terrence Crawford is fighting this weekend, Saturday night, if you want to watch a good boxer. He's absolutely unbelievable.
I don't know Terrence Crawford by name, but there are some good boxing matches coming up. So I enjoy watching I enjoy watching two no-name Mexican guys beat each other up.
Yeah,
that's fun too.
The best.
Yeah. Let me grab some of these phone calls. Hello, Chris. You're on the Mike Calta Show. Chris, you've had 4 colonoscopies?
Whoa. Hot.
Yes, I've had 4 starting at 35 years old because of family history.
Right.
I'm 54 now, and they're really not a big deal. You don't remember anything. You don't feel anything. The hardest part's the prep because you don't have to. You can't eat, obviously, but the prep's gotten a lot easier, whereas before it was a little bit painful, like stomach cramps around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But luckily they haven't found anything in the 4 that I've had. There was one though. I came out of recovery and laid out at least a 30-second fart. It was like the best fart I ever had.
Just all that air that's built up.
What was sad is my wife and kids walked in a minute later, and I wish they experienced that with me.
Hey,
early detection is the biggest thing, man, because I'm very happy because my dad was diagnosed at 55 and he had never had one, and by then he had stage 3 cancer.
Yeah, and they can fix that if they get it early. Yeah, they get it early.
But he's still alive. He's 70. He'll be 79 next month. So
good.
early detection is the biggest thing.
Well, good. Hopefully, whether it's a virtual or a regular colonoscopy, if you have a family history, you get that stuff checked out early. Thanks for the call, buddy, and good luck to your calling.